What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Friday, another episode of Heavy Metallurgy, number 231. It's been a long, busy week. I hope you've all had a great week. Thanks for joining us. And I'm joined once again by most awesomest co-host in the business, Professor Steele, Alan Coulson. How are you today?
I'm sick. I'm a little under the weather, but we'll get through this. So far, it just seems to be hay feverish, which is normal for me this time of year. But yeah, glad I can wrap up the week hanging out with you guys and everybody in the chat. See, Andy just got in. Cheers to Andy and everybody else. Aaron, one of my first records will be a shout out for Aaron. I'll rotate that to the top of the stack since he's already here.
Insane Clown Posse. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's the fusion jazz rap version of Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, yeah.
The ultimate metal theologian record.
Right on.
But yeah, cheers to Londo and Jay and everybody else.
Psycho clown mix. Whoop, whoop.
And of course, Dennis's return, Analog Archives. Welcome back, Dennis.
Absolutely.
It's always good to see you, man. It's always good to have you on. What has been shaking? What's been shaking over in your neck of the country?
Just getting my vinyl den pretty much in shape over here. Listening to records, man, working, doing all sorts of random shit, man. But trying to do YouTube more, but you know, it's off and on for me. If I feel like making a video, I make a video. If I don't, I don't. So hang in there, guys. I'll get something up, but I want to make actually good content. I'm not just going to come out and be like, I want to talk about this new record and then point to a record or something like that. You know me, everything that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to actually own. So it is what it is, as I like to say all the time. But yeah, man, cheers, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
It was great to have you back.
Door's always open for you. Anytime you want to come on, you got something to plug, just give us a shout, seriously. Or even if you don't, you just want to bullshit, let us know.
I love bullshitting.
Bullshitting's good, especially about metal, which is here while we're here tonight. And before we get started, Alan, I'll let you do the honors about a new book that's coming out.
Yes, we've got a couple of things. Want to shout out here. One is cheers to Melanie. I got a new shirt from her website. Like the Nile design, had been wanting this shirt and she had it for sale. So Melanie's got a lot of content on several places these days. You know, check her out, not just on YouTube, but also she has an Etsy store. She has her own sort of like blog review site. So make sure you're keeping up with everything that Melanie Loves Death Metal is doing. And also, yes. Oh, wait, hold on. Before that, let's see what Ryan's line is for tonight. That's so funny because he was just showing us.
We were just talking.
We were doing the room tour with Dennis right before we started, Ryan. And, we can't get that high.
No, I don't think
you
it's that
can't
possible.
get that high, Ryan. That's not a challenge. That's a word of caution. Yeah. Don't try. Absolutely not.
Anyway,
yes. Other announcement on Monday. Jeff Wagner over at Radical Research started pre-orders for his long-awaited biography of VOIVOD. It's called Always Moving. Pre-orders are available now. The link is in the show notes down below. He's aiming to start shipping in November, so about a month from right now. Copies will be going out in the mail is the plan. So yes, if you're interested in that, by all means, use the link down there, hop over there, order it. I forget the exact specs, but it's something like 540 pages, and it's like 7.5 by like 11. So it's going to be, a massive tome. VOIVOD is one of those very special bands to Jeff. Y'all are familiar with his writing. He's an excellent writer. He's going to do this band justice. So yeah, I would definitely encourage folks, if you're interested in it, go on over there. Pre-order it. Let's make him pack up a whole bunch of things all at once as soon as they're ready and haul a pile of them to the post office all in one big go. He will be coming on the show in a few weeks. I think we've got him booked for October 24th to come on and talk about the book some and discuss the band with Marty and potentially another guest we are working on. We'll see how that comes together. But yes, again, please go check out Radical Research for pre-orders of VOIVOD, Always Moving by Jeff Wagner. It's available right now. I think with, don't quote me on this, but I think if I remember right, with shipping in the US, it's about $50. I think it's something like, $45 and then $6 medium.
Yeah,
now.
I pre-ordered my copy. It was like $54 or something. I don't remember the exact.
Yeah,
It was over
so
50 though.
It'll be around $50. So, hey, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be an excellent read. Holidays are coming up. You can always, talk some significant other or something like, hey, if you don't have an idea for Christmas yet, they can pre-order this. And that would be an excellent holiday gift as well. So, yep, I am done hawking other people's merchandise for now. Back over to you, Marty.
Jeff could write a book on windsurfing and I would buy it. I love the guy's writing. Love the guy himself. What a great, wonderful person.
Oh, yeah. He's just an awesome person. I mean, again, VOIVOD's a band I've never really fully wrapped my head around. As soon as I saw the link, I ordered the book 10 minutes later. There was no hesitation. And it'll probably, I will never miss those $50. They'll absolutely be worth it.
Lando, the Death book is up for pre-order as well. Albert from Decibel and David Gelke, who wrote the book, will be on the show and towards the end of the month.
Yep. It may be early November. We're still trying to nail down a date with them, but we'll have them on to talk about that book. And I think the last time I checked, I feel like the pre-order was almost sold out. So if anybody's still looking for that, head on over to Decibel and get that pre-ordered. I guess I wasn't done selling other folks' merchandise just yet.
Yep.
But yeah, that's going to be a pretty amazing book too.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And this week, Dennis landed on a pretty easy week because we chose to go super simple. We haven't done a What's Spinning in a long time. And
very long time. Yep.
Yeah. Figured it was, although I get a little bit in every Wednesday, it's still a bunch I haven't talked about or showed yeah, all of us deserve to have a little bit of a less homework this week, I think. So, but Dennis, what Polish tape have you spun first this week?
I don't think I pulled any Polish tapes, actually.
Oh, shit.
I did pull about like 10 cassettes, but none are Polish.
Oh.
Somehow. And I know you guys did like the demo stuff last week, but I have a lot of demos I've been jamming, so
cool.
You'll have to bear with me on more demos.
Oh, that's great.
But what I've been first jamming is something I've been kind of a grail to me that I picked up recently is this Carcass Peel Sessions.
Wow, nice.
I had this when I was a kid, and then somehow it just like disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. I recorded it onto a cassette, so I still have that, but somehow I lost the actual vinyl. But I really love the recordings on this. Just crushing, man. It sounds like the continuation of Reek into Symphonies. Like it has that same kind of like sound to it, but way, better than Reek as far as production goes. But just crushing, especially two of the songs on here that are really good are Slash Dementia and Reek of Putrefaction. Both those songs are almost better than the ones on Symphonies. I love the guitar tone on this. It just, it's fucking sick, man.
Well, if you find your other copy, let me know. I'll buy it from you because I have the CD of it, but it'd be nice to have the vinyl.
I don't know what happened to it. I had it on vinyl. It disappeared. I don't have it. I might have traded it. I've done a lot of trades, and I could have just threw it in somewhere and was like, yeah, oh, I really need that Man of War. Here's the Carcass. Back in the day.
Need that mass-produced album. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was hard.
Hey, man, other bands play.
I lost a lot of records back then from trading, but I got a lot too, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
I think it evened out.
Oh yeah, that's the thing about trading. It's easy to sometimes, focus on what you gave up, but then you stop and think, it's like, if I hadn't given up those records, there are things I would not have. I would never have gotten any other way. So yeah, it works out.
Sure. All right, good start, Alan.
Let's see. Oh, cheers, Metallized Blood. Still saying hey to folks as they're coming in. Cheers to Christopher also. Let's see. First one, I promised one for Aaron. Aaron helped me obtain this record because I found it in the wild wasn't completely sure what the heck it was. I'd never seen or heard of the band before, but I knew Aaron would have the scoop on it. So I quickly texted him, and he talked me through it. It's a Russian band called Valkyria. It came out in 1993. Really cool cover.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's really nice cover art. Good, just typical Valkyrie fantasy. Horse, sword, wings, angel, all that kind of stuff. But it's done nicely.
No offense, Aaron, but most of the covers that you show suck. Especially from Russia. Anyway.
From Russia, not with so much love.
The front card of a She-Ra action figure.
Okay. Yep. This could have made the rounds for a Mattel product once upon a time. But yeah, so it was at a local record store. They had this. Just like, that looks good. It absolutely does. But didn't know anything about it. Back cover, I flipped over, looked at the back cover. I'm like, okay, also interesting. And they had, a sticker on it that said like, original Russian press. I'm like, oh, that's a weird thing to stumble into just, in your local record store. I'm not up on the Russian scene at all, but I know who is. So yeah, I texted Aaron just like, so what can you tell me about this Valkyrie album I'm staring at? And he's like, well, there's a few songs on YouTube. You can check them out. But he's like, it's pretty good. It takes a little getting into. But he's like, yeah, if it's an original and it even had the original insert with it, which I'm like, okay, that's a nice little bonus. He's like, yeah, it's worth picking up if you can get it for a decent price. And I was buying some other stuff that day, so kind of got it in a package deal. Was happy with the price, and yeah, it's an interesting sound. It's a little hard to describe, but Valkyria on this album are playing sort of a symphonic, slightly progressive thrash metal. Which, yeah, it's not a combination that you get to utter very often. It's got its roots in thrash, but they're definitely trying to push it, a little, some, symphonic kind of, flourishes, maybe from power metal. Yeah, and just, bits of progressive stuff here and there too to kind of mix it up. So it does take a few listens to kind of figure out. But yeah, it's a pretty cool album. I'm glad I was able to pick it up. Again, he wasn't giving it away. 20-year-old original Russian presses, do cost a little bit. But so without Aaron's help, I'm not sure if I would have pulled the trigger on it or not. So yeah, a big thank you to Aaron for quickly responding to emergency record store texts and making sure that I didn't leave that one sitting there. So yeah, that's my first one for the night. Valkyria's 1993 debut from Russia.
Not enough mustaches on the back of that. A lot of goatees. You could tell it's from the more modern era.
Yeah. It is a 93 release. They've outgrown the teen mustache phase.
That tucked in shirt is automatic purchase. Is that a tucked in shirt or a cutoff shirt?
I think it's tucked in.
I think it is tucked in. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, thanks to Aaron for the help with that one. So Marty, let's pass it over to you while I re-sleeve.
All right. Well, I got a nice little care package, a little VCLT package from Dave over at Heavy Metal Overkill. Thank you again, Dave. And hook me up with a couple things. I'm going to go through them. This is the first one. Iron Maiden's Unleash the Beast live at Die Vereniging Nimjengen, Netherlands. Nailed it. April 1981 FM broadcast. And you know what? 1981, this has got Dennis Stratton on it. Sweet Dennis Stratton instead of Adrian Smith. And the performance is really good. The sound is really decent. And the thing that's most instantly noticeable is, man, they just ripped. They play these songs so fast and tight. They sounded so just lethal, absolutely lethal. Diano sounds good. He cheeses out on a bunch of screams. He struggles a few times. You can tell, even early on, as much as I love him singing with Iron Maiden, there was just no way in hell he was going to go the distance with Iron Maiden. There's just no way, especially what Bruce brought to the band. He brought more of an operatic, more theatrical, More stage show. Paul was just kind of a stand there and rock out kind of guy. So, but still, the first two albums and all the singles around it were a very special time. And this is a really worthwhile recording. Genghis Khan, Killers, Purgatory, Sanctuary, Remember Tomorrow, Twilight Zone, Phantom of the Opera, Iron Maiden, Transylvania, Drifter. A lot of the tracks you want to hear. And they rip, like I said, super fast. Couldn't believe how fast they were playing. Clive Burr, he just had a tightness and a punch to his playing. You know, I love Nico's playing, but I think I prefer Clive Burr led Maiden. It just, he has a more, I don't know, less busy style, a little more aggressive, I guess. Yeah. Seagull Diano passed away earlier this year.
Pretty sure it was earlier this year.
So yeah, that was the first in the stack. We'll get around to the other two here on my next swing around. What are you gonna say, Alan? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, I was just thinking like, yeah, between you with Clive Burr on the drums and S. Craig Zoller wanting Bruce Dickinson out from behind the microphone, you guys could put together like a really interesting but weird Iron Maiden configuration.
I think Zoller would be happy if Dennis Stratton sang for Iron Maiden. He's a big Stratton fan. He calls him Sweet Stratton.
that would be Iron Maiden has to do what every other band does and kind of split, and we have Iron Maiden Incorporated with the Stratton Burr dredge up like a guitarist from 1975 kind of lineup.
Right. All right. Dennis, you're back.
All right. Got another vinyl. This is Aggression from Canada. This is Forgotten Skeleton. This was an unreleased record, supposed to come out in 86. But for some reason, I think this was supposed to be on New Renaissance Records, but they dropped the ball. They were on a bunch of the comps like Thrash Metal Attack, and I think they were on Speed Metal Hell Part 2 as well. But yeah, this fucking thing rips. They put out another record in 87 called The Full Treatment, which is good too. But this one, banger, man. Just ripping straight ahead thrash all the way through. Fast as shit. Some of the songs on here, I want to see if I can read what they're called. Yeah. Rotten by Torture is a sick song. I can't read the songs. They're all dark. Evil Pox. Well, they had the demo on here too, which is really good. A lot of the songs that were on the demos were on those comps. But yeah, just if you like just brutal thrash, definitely check this out. It has a lot of Slayer meets Creator meets Exodus and Razor, all those kind of bands. If you like those kind of bands, you'd love this record. Ripping thrash, man, that a lot of people don't talk about. But I've always loved this band. So when I saw this record, I was like, I got to get that. And I don't know who put it out. It's on T-Zone. It's got a handwritten, your copy is number 346. I don't know. I think it came out in 2021, but I'm not positive. It's on some weird small label. I'm sure you could probably get it because nobody's going to buy this record. So they have a CD too. I think the CD came out first. Same stupid cover. This wasn't supposed to be the cover of the record. I don't know.
It's bad.
It's just some generic looking thing, but I think they changed their name to Aggression AD because the punk band Aggression was out at the same time. So definitely check it out if you're into that kind of thrash metal, which I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat's into that kind of thrash metal.
Yeah. I've seen that. It looked promising, but I've never checked it out. I'll have to do so.
Yeah, definitely check it out. You'll like it.
I probably have some of their songs on some of those compilations and just, never put two and two together that it was the same group.
Yeah.
All right. Alan.
All right. For this one, we have to go over to Bandcamp, but it's not my fault because there is no physical version available yet. This is something that's just come out recently. And cheers to Simon. He's in the chat and he bounced this over to me. Simon's got a pretty good feel for what kind of like weird, dark, heavy metal I like. So when he stumbles into some of these things, he'll send them over to me. He's just like, you should probably listen to this. I'm just like, yeah, if you're recommending it, I probably should. And I think he said that Jack sent this to him. Jack's not in the chat that I've seen tonight, but if that's the correct lineage, then very cool. Thanks to both of them. It's a band from Switzerland called Arrows. The album is called, let me get this right, Yearning Arrows, Cloven Suns. Let's get it up here so we can see the cover image. So kind of a neat, very unusual font for the band's logo, which is right there in the corner. And it's got kind of a little bit of an esoteric, obviously trying to work in some different occult-ish looking, mysterious imagery. But it looks kind of cool. I can dig this. And yeah, the music on it is pretty interesting. I've only gotten to play it a few times so far. I've just been kind of busy. But yeah, first impressions really, really favorable. Simon described it as sounding kind of like Ruins of Bevrast, but working some of like the more melodic Death Doom side of a band like Jade. I'm like, yep, I can see that. That is a good starting reference point. It has a little bit of a Hellenic sound to it, to my ears. Again, this is kind of preliminary listens, but if he had told me this band was from Greece, I would have believed it. But it's a Swiss band. So yeah, very cool, heavy, kind of, got a little bit of, an epic grandeur to it, but, in a, very sort of, dark underground kind of fashion. So, if any of the adjectives I'm throwing at folks right now sound interesting or that's your cup of tea, then yeah, go over to Bandcamp, check out the Arrows. Again, the title is Yearning Arrows, Cloven Suns. It's a name your price download from Bandcamp. I know a lot of folks aren't that into Bandcamp, but there is no physical copy available yet. They haven't. I think they're still independent. Maybe if they can sell enough stuff on Bandcamp, they'll get CDs or vinyl pressed up. Not sure what the deal there is. Some of the guys have been in other bands. Simon mentioned several of them, but they weren't projects I'm familiar with. But yeah, this isn't like their first outing, and it shows just the quality of the musicianship and stuff. You can tell these guys already know exactly what they're doing. But yeah, I would definitely say go over, name your price, give them a fair price for it because it's a pretty cool album. I definitely need to spend some more time with this one. Wouldn't be surprised to see it creep in as one of those dark horse entries on some end of year lists, perhaps. It's a really, really strong effort, and a big thank you to Simon for making me aware of it, because I had not heard anything about the band at all.
I just saw that Dennis says I'm drinking some hood shit. I saw it. It's very orange. It looks like pumpkin spice. Actually, Dennis is wearing yoga pants and Han Solo boots. It's that time. It's pumpkin season.
Yeah,
pumpkin spice beer. No, I'm drinking fucking beat boxes and 7-Eleven replenishes mixed together.
What the hell is going on over there?
I might have gone with
hydrated. I gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah, I passed on the Oktoberfest tonight since I'm a little under the weather. I'm just going to stick to the soda. All right, Marty, you're up next, sir.
All right. Another thing that was in the Dave box. Here you go. Roll your eyes all you want. Hot in the Shade by Kiss.
Wait, that spells hits. Well, it does.
Oh shit, it does.
It does. Oh, you didn't know that?
I never knew that.
The album title is basically Hits.
Yeah,
HITS.
That's hilarious. It's funny because I've never owned this record. I've never owned it. And Zoller, my buddy Zoller, I don't know, a month ago, he's like, there's some good songs on it. Being a Kiss fan, you should have it. So he bought me the CD of it. That arrived. And then Dave sent this. So I went from 0 hits to double the hits. So
all the hits.
And you know what? As much as I hate myself, I really sitting and listening to this record. There's some good songs on here. There are. As much as I want to hate Kiss, but I just can't. I don't know. It just digs into the nostalgia, man.
Dude, I don't think I've heard that record. I think I own it too. It's like somewhere.
got Desmond Child songs on it. I think.
That sounds right. My sister had it when we were kids. It has the semi radio hit on it was Hide Your Heart.
Hide Your Heart.
Which is a fun tune. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's one other that got some airplay, but I don't remember what the other
Rise to It was another hit off of there, I think. Hide Your Heart. Read My Body. God.
Read My Body.
Grown-ass men.
That's right. David DeFay, late 80s Virgin Steel kind of shit going on there.
And of course, the big hit on here is Forever. That's the big one. And it's a good song. There's some good songs on here, and the more I've listened to it, I'm glad I'm 3 albums away to having the entire run on vinyl. So they're one of those bands. I love them. I hate them, but I got to have all their shit on vinyl. So thanks again, Dave. Hooking me up on that. It's been a lot of fun listening to it. And Zoller too. Thank you again. I had a little pre-show to the vinyl on CD as well. So I've had a lot of hits here in the last couple months. All right, Dennis.
Oh, dude, here's a sick one. I only have it on CD. It's the OG press though on Nuclear Blast. Horde.
Actually, it wasn't the OG press on an Australian label.
Oh, maybe, but this is the actual like release.
Yeah.
Basically, almost like got their building burned down because they were releasing Un-Satanic black metal or white metal or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
That album rips. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I love that.
Rips, dude.
I love it. They did a great job on it.
Got the the drummer of Mortification did all the
Jason Sherlock.
Yeah, dude. This is a cool record. The song titles are just fucking hilarious. A church bell that let me get my glasses. These are long and they're in Old English, of course. A church bell tolls amidst the frozen Nordic winds. Blasphemous abomination of the satanic pentagram. Behold the rising of the scarlet moon. I like this
quite
one.
Bal Sagoth territory, but it's getting there.
Release and clothe the virgin sacrifice. Just let her go and give her some clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, how nice.
And of course, the best, invert the inverted cross.
That's the one I remember. Yeah.
Great chainsaw guitar tone on that record. The riffs are good. It's a great record.
Yeah. It's a killer record, man. It sounds good. It's pretty stupid. I'll give it that, but I like it for what it is. It's just, I don't think they were going to change anybody's mind. I don't think there was going to be like some Dark Throne fan like, you know what, dude? I've been looking at this all wrong.
Right? That cross should be turned back right side up.
I think
you guys
Jesus
have taught me the true meaning of Arbor Day.
Yeah, it's kind of a dumb concept, but it's a badass record. So,
you know what they really should have done if they wanted to do it? They should have had the face with change instead of big black circles around their eyes, had big white circles like around their eyes and stuff.
Right?
Called it like life paint.
All right.
Yeah, but that's a great record. Definitely check it out if you like black metal.
Awesome. Alan.
All right, let's see. I wanted to mention that, David sent me some records too for VCLT. I'm not showing those tonight because I've actually recorded a video specifically about those that I'm going to post probably this Tuesday over on Let's Talk Metal. So, yeah, thank you to Dave. It was really nice of him. He sent some really cool stuff I've enjoyed a lot. But, if he watches this and he's like, why the heck aren't you talking about them? Give me a few more days and they get a video all their own. For now, let's see. Let's go. Brazil. For 1990, kind of a classic, semi-classic, infamous album, if nothing else. Sex Trash with Sexual Carnage. And I learned my lesson, YouTube. We're covering the boobs there, YouTube. So no more of No more taking my thumbnails down.
Well, you're
YouTube.
quickly becoming known as the booby tuber.
It's not my. The funny thing here too is I can't show the back cover. I can't open the gatefold. Even the labels, the images they used for the labels, like have more pictures of her. So it's like there is no safe way to show this record whatsoever.
Way to get their money's worth out of paying her to do the photo shoot, I guess.
They really did make good use of those negatives from the shoot. But yeah, anyway, most folks will be familiar with this if for no other reason by reputation. Yeah, it's got that raw Brazilian death thrash sound. It's just a little later in the canon, coming out in 1990. It feels like maybe it doesn't have quite the same vintage, as something like Sarcophagus, Yngwie, or early Sepultura or whatnot. But it's still in that same mold. It's just that this one obviously kind of plays up the sleazy side with the song titles and lyrics a bit more. But if you're a fan of that raw South American sound, then Sex Trash works okay. Now this is a reissue, just to be clear, but it's a pretty nice one. The album is like 10 songs, but the whole thing's like under 30 minutes for some reason. Let's see, but this one's got an insert too. Can't show the insert. More pictures. Same thing. DD Crazy had been with Sarcophago and then played with them, and they may have worked with Sarcophago again later on too.
That may be the closest he's ever been to a girl.
This
DD Crazy guy.
With the hoodie and the eye makeup.
Yeah,
you might be right. I don't know. But not too much really to say about this one other than just something else I had picked up and spun a few times recently. Good for that Brazilian raw sound. It's just maybe it was a day late to the party, coming out a little bit later, but still kind of a cool release.
Booby tuber. All right, Dave again on the hookup. Kiss Revenge. This is Kiss going, after the Hits album, they got heavier again, a little heavier. What's kind of funny? Is this the one? Yeah. As much trouble as they had with Vinnie Vincent, he has got like 3 or 4 songwriting credits on this record. Huh. And their guitarist, who was with them for a long period of time, Bruce Kulick, has 1. I'm like, what the hell is the problem here? But anyway, they're heavier because they got the leather out. So no more spandex here. They got the leather jumpers,
leather trench coats.
Yeah. But man, this is a good record. Unholy, take it off is a little rough. Domino is a fun song. I don't know. They got some Ezrin songwriting credits on here. Bob Ezrin. He was produced by him, so they're trying to channel the Destroyer thing again. But Modern Times, this is a good record. I enjoy it. Again, I can't hate Kiss. I can't. I roll my eyes on occasion, but thanks again, Abe. It was very cool to get this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that one's not bad. I had that one as a kid, and it's decent.
Yeah. All right, Dennis.
All right. First cassette of the night. We're going Mortuary, where Death Takes Your Soul demo from Mexico. This is a really ripping demo. Pretty good quality. This is actually like a nice J card that comes with this demo. This came out in, I want to say 88. Death Thrash from Mexico. You guys know Mortuary, right? They did Blackened Images.
Yep.
Yeah. But this demo's a lot thrashier than the full length. I think it has some of the same songs: Reign of Dead, Black Superstition, Sacrilegious, and I don't know what this is. Different language. Alscholch Bergamo. I don't know. But that song rips too. All the songs on here rip. Just killer production on this. Just evil sounding death thrash. If you guys like the Blackened Images record, I think it's on some of the reissues. They put it on there, the later reissues. But man, this demo is a banger from Mexico from '88. Definitely check it out. Killer demo, man. I've had that since it came out, and I was always like, man, this demo rips. And then when I heard the full length, I was like, it's not as good as a demo, but I think it's more the production on it, and it's more, they try to go more death metal on that. Whereas this one, you could tell they were maybe in their lane as more of a thrash band, but both of them are pretty badass.
What was the name of that demo again, Dennis?
Where Death Takes Your Soul.
All right. Minions, if you were going to get Alan your address or whatever, you need to email that to me. If you did send it, I didn't see it.
Yeah. He just responded that, yeah, he tried sending it, but for some reason it wasn't going through.
Hold on. Let me pull up the banner again with the...
Yeah, Marty can put the banner up. Maybe maybe there's like one character that was off in the address or something, Minions. So we can try it
Metallurgy channel at gmail.com. So that'll get you there.
Heavy Metallurgy channel, all one word, no spaces or anything.
Yeah,
right, Marty?
Yep.
Heavy Metallurgy channel at Gmail. Okay, so yeah, if you want to try again, Minions, I'd be glad to take a look at it. Sorry it didn't work last week. But yeah, wanted to let you know that, yeah, we didn't just ignore it or anything. All right, let's see. Let's do another classic vinyl one here. We've got Trail. Let's do this one first, actually. Found this in a local record store, too. It's an old compilation album, a pretty early one on Roadrunner called Dutch Steel, which tells you pretty much everything you need to know about it. Yeah, it's, a compilation of, Dutch bands. But yeah, it's interesting because it's I believe it's an 84 release, a really early one on Roadrunner. You get 6 bands. Some of them get 2 songs, some of them only get 1 song. So it's one of those kind of compilations where you get a couple of tracks by some of the groups. You've got Seducer, Revenge, Allied Forces, Vortex, Together, Martyr. These bands had different levels of success. For some of them, this is about their only ever appearance. Martyr did make a pretty cool... Is it a full album or is it like a mini album? It's called For the Universe. Has kind of like a cosmic scene on the cover. That's a pretty good release. The Allied Forces tracks on here are pretty good. Not a band I knew much about. But yeah, you get some absolutely great band photos. Yeah, again, this is
mustaches. There they are.
Yep. They'll be there.
80s.
All kinds of great. I love this guy over here on the far left of this. Just like, I can't tell if he's psyched, stoned, bummed out, or 12 years old, but it's a thing. Pictures over here. So yeah, not a bad compilation, really. It's not like any of the bands on here were terrible. Quality varies. Some of them you can tell they were at the demo stage, and that might be as far as they were going to get. But yeah, like I said, the Allied Forces tracks aren't bad. It was cool to hear another Martyr track. At least one of these bands had done some stuff a couple of years earlier. So it was also an odd mix that I think it's Seducer, had already done a couple of things. And this is actually kind of late material for them. Whereas for other bands, this was kind of like, their first appearance on vinyl. Just to be clear, though, the cover, has this kind of, big epic Viking battle thing going on. That is not what these bands are really playing. This is pretty straightforward, early to mid 80s Euro metal. Do not buy this based on the cover and think like, oh, I bet this is like, a bunch of, early, Heavy Load or Bathory or something very, Viking themed. No, it is not. That's just the artwork on the cover. But for a cheap price for an old comp to check out some different bands, this was pretty cool. So the Dutch Steel comp, it's not an expensive one. I had just never I've heard of it for years. I just never come across it. But found it at a local store. I had some trade credit with the store anyway. So I'm like, I will gladly take that to not even have to pay anything out of pocket for it since I traded stuff in.
Yeah, that looks killer.
It's a fun one. And again, being an early Roadrunner one, that's the kind of thing that if it's a reasonable price, I'm going to be a sucker for. Absolutely. Add it to the stack.
Aaron's looking at his copy. He says Revenge is spelled wrong on the spine.
Is it spelled on the spine? Let's see. Is it on the spine? Revenge. Hold on. I need a magnifying glass for this. Seducer. Yes, it is spelled revenge. There's an A in the middle of it. Good eye, Aaron. I would never have noticed that. So, yes, seducer and revenge.
Revenge.
Or it's Dutch steel, but it's the band names are being read off by Georgia Southern Belle from the 1950s. Seducer and revenge. How dare you, sir? How dare you insult my honor? I'll stop now.
All right. Well, I was going through rearranging some records and some album crates, and this sweet little gem popped out at me. And I'm like, you know what? It's been 1,000 years since I've spun this record. So, in fact, I was looking at the first three. I'm like, this is the one I've listened to the least of. So I snagged this one at Car City Records in Detroit for $3.85 back in the day. Back when people were trying to get rid of vinyl, we gave it away. But this is a good record. It's Mark Bowles on vocals. It's kind of a little glammy, maybe kind of the era it was going on at that time. But you know, there's a lot less instrumental noodlery and more songs. You know, and I do like the instrumental stuff on his other albums, but I don't know. I know he can play guitar. I know you can play guitar really well, way better than I ever will. But I would just as soon listen to someone sing as well and actual constructed songs. There's some good songs on here. Of course, the hit "You Don't Remember, I Never Forget." Come on. This whole album's fun. It's just a good record. I love the cover artwork too. Yngwie in battle stance. Very cool. Very cool record. It was fun listening to it. I don't know if I'll win the next time it'll be. It might be. I might never listen to the record again. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I have it and it's fun. It was good. It was a good little nostalgia trip for sure. I used to have it when it came out on cassette back in the day.
Yeah, it's not a bad album. No. I agree. It's not the kind of thing I need to play very often, but once in a blue moon, it works.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Dennis is showing all the cult stuff tonight. I'm showing all the the powder and fluff.
Kiss and Yngwie.
I know that Yngwie record. I have it. I don't know if I've listened to it in like years, man. It's like the one I like. I remember like he broke his hand or something before like he recorded that record. So it wasn't like, I remember it was like a big deal. Like, oh, it's not going to be as good because he can't play guitar as well because he broke his hand. And
sounds like an excuse.
Maybe that's why there's more songs on it.
Could
where he's
be.
not doodling so much. But
yeah,
I remember listening to that record when I was a kid, and I was like, this album's not that good. This isn't like, there's no I Am a Viking on this.
No, it was a little glammier for sure.
Yeah. But maybe
it's
I'll
all good,
check
Marty.
it out.
Just Marty, don't cross the Brittany Fox line tonight. That's all I'm asking.
Well, I don't have any Brittany Fox. No, we're
okay.
safe.
Luckily, I got another badass record. So
Alan is saying, danger. See what I did there?
Not yet. Satanic Slaughter. This is a on
Tribute.
Black Sun Records.
Yeah.
It's a Slayer cover record. Look at these bands, man. Fuck, this thing rips. Heavy. Killer record. Really good covers. Comes with like a pretty cool like insert, like a book. Not a book, but like a complete fold out, which is pretty sick. Because you got bands like Merciless, Dissection, Cemetery. You know what song's pretty badass on here? By like the only band I didn't know was Spill the Blood by Grope. That shit's heavy, dude. It sounds like if Entombed had done a cover while they were doing Wolverine Blues. Has that kind of bar tone, that kind of thickness to it.
Yeah.
And I think Grope was kind of like a thrash, like new metal kind of band. Not new metal, but something like that in the 90s. I think they were from Denmark. But at the gates, that song, The Captor of Sin, rips. The only song I really not big fan of on here is Invocator's Altar of Sacrifice. It's not the best. And I like Invocator, but Altar of Sacrifice is one of my favorite Slayer songs, and they don't really do it justice. But the rest of this shit, crushing, man. A lot of HM2 destruction on here. Yeah, if you like Slayer, you like Swedish death metal, there you go. Fucking rips.
All right.
Oh, here we've got CBN is familiar with group.
Yeah, I thought they were from Denmark.
All right. Alan's up.
All right, let's stick with vinyl for now and go to Canada. We have Death Dealer with
love that
Keeper
record.
of the Flame. Yeah, it's a fairly cool record.
Cool band name too.
It's a weird band name. They did go by Death Dealer earlier, but I guess they changed it to this to be something a bit more unique because I'm sure there were multiple death dealers dealing death around the scene. So, yep, switched over to this. And yeah, this came out in '86. It's on Metal Blade. And it's kind of what you'd expect for something from Metal Blade from '86. Still sounds very good. It's not, as crazy raw, and ferocious as something would have been, say, a couple of years earlier. This is a band where, they had demoed stuff back around '83. They appeared on the Metal Massacre 4 and have one of the best songs on that volume. By '86, you can tell they're cleaning up the sound a little bit. They haven't gone glammy or anything.
No.
And, it still rocks pretty good. But yeah, it doesn't have that really rough edge that made the demo stuff so good. And it was interesting because what they've done with some of these tracks are the older tracks from their demo days, but they have like slightly altered some of the song titles. For example, let's see, I think it's one of these at the start of side 2. Sadist or Free and Easy used to be called Sherry. Don't Get in My Way used to be Cross My Way. And it worked much better that way. I'm a bit biased because I love, their early tracks. Cross My Way is a killer song. When they changed it this way, we're trying to force Don't Get in My Way. You're now trying to put 3 syllables in place of 1 syllable, and it just doesn't quite fit right. So it sounds really odd to my ears. But there's still some really good musicianship on here. There's a cool instrumental on side A called On the Wings of a Russian Foxbat. Crazy title, but I'm guessing Foxbat is some kind of Russian fighter plane. If it really is just like the animal, then the title is Stranger. But pretty cool instrumental, shows off their chops. So yeah, really solid album. It just, it does lack the heaviness, kind of the wild it factor that they had maybe 3 years earlier in their career. But still a cool one to pick up. You can find their demo stuff. It's been reissued a couple of times. Some of the reissues are hard to find, but I think others are still a little easier to get. So if you poke around, you can also find some of the early stuff here and there. But yeah, I always wanted this, picked it up very recently. Since I like the old stuff, I just never had found the album in the wild for a good price. This one did have a cut corner. And this is one of those little things that does irk me. I don't like having the corners clipped on covers. Some types of damage, I don't mind. Cut corners, I will have to stop and think, do I really want it? But this was really cheap, and it's in nice condition otherwise. So I'm like, yeah, okay. For that price, I've always wanted to have that. I will go ahead and I can deal with a cut corner at that price.
Yeah.
So, yep, that is Death Dealer. So, yep, cool that you know that one, Dennis.
Yeah, I actually found a sealed copy in the wild maybe like a year ago.
Very cool.
$10 or something. It's not, they're not very expensive. It's not like it's an expensive record.
Yeah, my copy was pretty cheap. I got it somewhere. I don't know where the hell I even got it from, but
yeah. I mean, to most folks, this cover doesn't necessarily scream must buy. And being 86, it's just late enough that it's not like one of those earlier Metal Blade ones that had, a smaller pressing or anything like that. So yeah, you're exactly right. It's never been a high dollar or hard album.
I remember the song on the Metal Massacre comp. I like that. So, and I like that record. I think it's a good record.
Yeah.
It's nothing, not going to blow you out of the water or anything, but it's a decent metal record.
Yeah. And coming out in 86, it had a lot of stiff competition, so it's understandable why it kind of got a bit overlooked with everything else that was coming out that year. I mean, when people are buying Master of Puppets and Rain in Blood, they're probably not adding Death Dealer, as the third item on that record bar.
Or scouring the internet. I got to get a copy of that Death Dealer, man. That's just not happening.
Yeah, it was a weird time. There were so many bands that it was hard to choose.
Yep. You had to pick and call your shots, and Death Dealer didn't quite get over the top, but they did leave some cool music behind for sure.
Oh crap! Sorry. All right. Oh boy. So I watched this lady, charismatic voice. She's an opera singer. She does vocal.
I see her thumbnails.
Yep. She does reaction videos to bands or vocalists that people in her community recommend for her, and she's a big Dio fan. She went from opera to loving Dio. But I watched an old one the other day she did on her critiquing Stargazer, and even though she stops the video too many times, and she's isn't just one of these people that just sits and reacts to stuff. She knows a lot about how to use your vocals and gives tips and talks about. It's interesting some of the things she has to say. But man, Stargazer is just a moment in time. What a great, amazing song. And I hear that song and it makes me just want to listen to this record. And yep, this is Rainbow Rising. For those unfamiliar, this is so good. Maybe is this better than Sabbath, Dio Sabbath? Man, it's close. I don't know.
No, but it's in the conversation. It's not a crazy thing to say.
It isn't.
Alan's like, no, it's not better.
God, it's so close.
We have to draw boundaries somewhere, but I'm not going to, chase you out of here, for showing like you showed a Britney Fox record or something.
Yeah.
I can, if you want to make that argument, you have talking points for sure.
It depends on the mood, I guess. But both. It was a moment in time that he was untouchable. I mean, he was untouchable for most of his career. Let's be honest. But God, this is just super special. Richie Blackmore leaves Deep Purple and wants to keep making Deep Purple music. Makes Rainbow. Yep. And after this, they start to get a little bit more commercial, and I guess so did Deep Purple. Really, I don't know, but I love this record. Even the Terror Woman, Run with the Wolf. I love that song. Heavy, fun. Do you close your eyes? Cheesy as hell, but good song. I don't know. I love it. I look at it and I want to listen to it. I'd be like, see you guys. I'm going to go listen to this Rainbow record while you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Now Chucky brought up go ahead, Dennis.
Long Live Rock and Roll for me is my favorite.
Love that one as well. So good.
Yeah.
Such a great record.
Yeah, I play that one more than Rising. But Chucky brings up something interesting here. He says, the song Stargazer is better than Sabbath, but not the whole album.
That's a good point.
That was kind of my knee-jerk response, actually.
Yep.
It kind of flashed through my mind. But then I got to thinking, would you take Stargazer over, say, like, Sign of the Southern Cross or Heaven and Hell?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I go Sign for me.
So good though. Yeah.
Sign. Yeah. That's, if we ever do song-based Keep or Reap, that would be one I'd have to stop and think about.
For me, the Stargazer. Go ahead. What's that?
I said it all rules. So.
It all rules.
Absolutely.
For me, what wins is the ending of Stargazer, where he's doing all that vamping at the end. Oh my God, just get misty-eyed. It's so good. He's so good. Love it. Yeah. Good thing is we don't have to choose
tonight. Anyway,
we can enjoy. We can enjoy it all.
Why not both tonight?
But why not both? All right, Dennis.
All right, check this one out. I don't know if you guys know this band, but Magus.
Oh, Magus? Is that like a proscriptor band? Yeah,
it's a Pre-Absu.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This has both their demos on it. This is a pretty sick. I think the demos are both from '92. Really crushing death doom. It's not like Absu. It's not thrashy. It's very, very kind of rotten death, but really doomy too on some of the songs. And this is a really cool release. It's got like a little booklet with everything in it. And I think this release came out in 2021 on the Devil's Elixir Records, and it comes in like a cardboard, not a cardboard, but like a book.
Oh yeah, the book. Yeah.
Hardcover. And again, it's hand written on the back, 145 out of 513 copies. But man, if you guys haven't heard this, check it out. I was listening to this again today. Man, this is underrated stuff. Like, a lot of people don't talk about this band, and I get it. Absu's a way bigger band than this.
Yeah.
But this stuff crushes, man. For like a band like this, that a lot of people don't. I don't even remember seeing this in a lot of fanzines, honestly, in '92. So when I did see like a little, I think they had like a little thing on the end here from their, that would have been in the fanzine there, that Magus right there. But I barely remember this band, but I mean, back in the day. But yeah, man, this shit rules. I don't know if this is still available or you can get a different re-release, but this stuff is killer, man. Crushing death doom, if you're into that kind of stuff. Really guttural vocals on it too, and it does have some keyboards and stuff like that mixed in too, so it keeps it interesting. It's not just like, one trick pony type of stuff. It does have like different aspects of different genres and stuff like that mixed in, but not goofy stuff. It's like just fits the music to make it sound even more like despairing. So if you're in the mood for despairing shit, check it out.
Usually.
Yeah, I have not heard that Pre-Absu stuff.
All right, Alan.
All right, let's see. Rick sent me this not too long ago. And I've talked about it in a different video, but I don't think I've shown it on Metallurgy. It is the Grand Magus Sunraven album that came out last year. He caught on at some point that I've never really checked out this band. Folks have recommended him to me over the years. And it's one of those bands I've just never quite known where to start in their catalog, because I know they kind of changed their sound a bit over time. And so it's one of those things that's like, well, it almost felt like I was going to have to listen to 2 or 3 albums to actually figure out what I might like or not like. And it just never happened. So Rick just sent this one. He's like, here, I think you'll like this. And he's right. It's really good. It's pretty simple stuff. They're not doing anything complicated. They're really easy songs to get into, very heavy. Yeah, it just has that, kind of cool, it's doomy, but it's not doom. It's more rooted in traditional heavy metal. But yeah, just has a really, easy to get into, catchy, simple, kind of crushing sound. Really like the lead track, Skybound. Really like, some of the other ones on here. The title track, Sunraven, is quite good. So yeah, it was really cool finally getting to check out Grand Magus. I can definitely see why people get into them. It's really fun, catchy stuff. Gets stuck in your brain really quickly, and it's got a good balance of like the heavy, epic kind of sound, but sticking to just a very no nonsense kind of 4/4 galloping crunch at the same time. So it works quite well. So yeah, big thank you to Rick for sending this over my way. I'm not going to run out and buy every Grand Magus record I come across, but definitely the kind of thing that, next time when I do see them in the used bin or something like that, or on sale on a distro, probably pick up another one and see what it's like. The trajectory reminds me a little bit, or sorry, not the trajectory, the scent dial reminds me a bit of what Spirit Adrift has been doing since like their, the album with the title E. Flub up their album titles a lot, but if you like the more recent Spirit Adrift stuff, the Grand Magus seems to be really similar to what Spirit Adrift has done recently, and I really like that Spirit Adrift album, so I guess it makes sense that I like the Grand Magus album too. So, yep, another band I have finally got around to checking out, all thanks to Rick from the Dreadful Minutes.
Yeah, Seagull Rock. Dennis started a new subgenre tonight, despairing metal. That's so Dennis coined the phrase. Yep. All right.
Copyright, trademark.
Yep. Well, I'm still listening to this album probably every day, every other day. Giants and Monsters. Helloween.
Drink.
Oh, you're going to drink a couple times today. That's just the way it goes. But God damn it. This album, you know what? I paid too much money for this stupid earbook thing, but man, it's really nice. It's really, really nice. It's like a hardcover book and a million pictures in it, lyrics, and 2 CDs. It's got some bonus versions of Into the Sun, different vocal arrangements. One is completely acoustic, tough stuff like that, but also has the Out of Control bonus track on here too, with Kai singing on it. But me and Alan covered this, and well, Mike too, Mike Seatown. We talked about this when the album dropped. Before Jimmy too. I forgot Jimmy was on there as well.
Yep.
Over 4,000 views on the review, which is hilarious. Alan, have you spun this since?
Honestly, I have not.
I'm curious if more spins is gonna, because the few little things that bothered me, like is a little too much, and for me, the song that remains my least favorite is Under the Moonlight. It sounds like Dr. Steen.
Yeah, that one's
that bugs me, but it's not terrible. But the rest of the album, even the Lil's a little too much. This is Tokyo. I think they're really good songs, and they're fun mixed in because they put them in the right spots in between all the speed metal, power metal bangers, and the bangers on here are really fucking good. The thing that really bugs me is the production is weird. It's really good. It's super clear and heavy and full, but the guitar tone's a bit less aggressive. Minor complaint. No, yeah, there's no heavy metal hamsters, but a little too much is a goofy song. But you know what? At this age, they're in their 60s, and if you listen to Un-Satanic, you hear a lot of hard rock, AOR type stuff. A little of that creeped into this record for dynamics, and they're unapologetic about it, and the songs are good. They're still good songs, whether yeah, we have the propensity to want it be banging from start to finish. They did that on the last record. This one, they mixed it up a bit more, but this album rules. It's so fucking good. Gonna be we'll see. We'll see where it lands. I think we all know where it's gonna land. My year-end list, but man, I love it. I love Helloween. They're my favorite band. They're the best band. They're the best band out there. Anyway. Yeah.
It's certainly not a bad album. I played it a lot before we reviewed it. I feel like I digested it pretty well.
Yep.
And I just haven't felt the need to go back to it.
A lot of the things I had little problems with, they're gone. They smoothed over. I've listened to it so much. All those edges have rounded off, I guess. All right, Dennis. Probably not much Helloween in your stack tonight, but I got you covered. Don't worry, bro.
No Helloween. But I do like Keeper of the Seven Keys now. So I didn't like that album for a long time, and it kind of grew on me over the years. So it's kind of a banger of a record. But anyways, this is the record I meant to pull after Alan pulled the Death Dealer, because it has the cut corner and it's on Metal Blade. Predator, Easy Prey. Man, I've been jamming this record a lot. It's got this great cover too.
Yeah, that makes the Death Dealer look like an Ellier Cantor type cover.
I like it's got like the knife here. What is that? A knife, or he's just happy to see her? But this is a fucking ripping record, dude. Speed metal. Reminds me a lot of kind of like Lizzie Borden, like the first Lizzie Borden record. That kind of stuff, power metal with some speed metal and some actual kind of thrash too mixed in. This could have easily been on Shrapnel Records. Dude just goes off on there's 2 instrumentals where he just fucking just goes off guitar wise. all the songs rip here. Demon Witch is a badass song, but I think only one song is kind of bad. Is like one of the songs. It's like the second song on side 2 sounds like Metal Health from Quiet Riot. Road to Glory. That song sucks. But the rest of the song, and it's not that bad, but it sucks compared to the rest of the record. And this is a record you just would think would suck because of the way it looks. But nah, man, this shit rules. I forgot.
Yeah, it's another one of those Metal Blade ones that the cover does not really help sell you on it.
No, I mean, and they don't really give it a big, like the hype sticker's so small it just says new. From Metal Blade Records, great guitar with highlights, which highlights this metallic slap. That's all you get. Wow, good one, Metal Blade.
I think
they blew their whole art budget on Death Dealer that year. So
I too am a little bit shocked. I shared it in the chat, but that Aaron does not have that album. That is shocking to me. That would have seemed like an easy conquest for the man who has everything.
Maybe back in the day it was easy. Now it's probably a harder one to get.
Probably
nobody
so.
bought it.
Yeah.
So it's never used. You had to get a promo copy.
All right.
All right, so let's get into the CD stack a little bit here. Hadn't played any of this in a while, but and it takes a while to play because it's a 3 CD set. But it's called "I'm a Freak, Baby," with the subtitle "A Journey Through the British Heavy Psych and Hard Rock Underground Scene." So basically, what a lot of this is kind of looking at heavy British music pre-Zeppelin and Sabbath. So you've got like a lot of, like late 60s material. Not stuff that you would, call heavy metal. Very few acts on this. And again, there's a lot of stuff on this.
Wow.
Over 3 discs.
The Velvet Frogs.
The Velvet Frogs is one of them. It was an era. Some names were weird back then too. But yeah, it's got a really good booklet. Every band gets a full page with pictures, full lineup breakdown, kind of a quick synopsis of what their output was, what their deal was. So yeah, really nice package. They've done 3 volumes of this, and every volume is a 3-disc set. So there's like 9 total CDs of this stuff now. A good amount of it is stuff that's relatively unknown. They'll have the occasional like Deep Purple or Uriah Heep track included, but most of it is smaller stuff like Edgar Burroughs band. Let's see, one of Lemmy's pre-Hawkwind projects is featured on one of them. Wicked Lady is on here. Factory, Pink Fairies, Chicken Shack. Folks that know that kind of late 60s, the harder side of the psychedelic rock sound will be familiar with a lot of this stuff. It's stuff that interests me. I don't know these bands in detail. There's a few bands I have an album by here and there, but most of them I only know from songs on compilations and such. But it is an interesting era. I dug these back out. I got them several years ago. And, we did earlier this year the 70s heavy metal show with, Aaron was part of that, and Jürgen, and also Jana Stark. Yeah, we were kind of looking at, all these bands that kind of came up in the wake of Black Sabbath. And so at some point I got thinking, it's like, well, yeah, well, so what about the stuff that, kind of preceded Black Sabbath or was on the scene at the same time when Sabbath was still going by Earth and hadn't really, made it very far yet? That's the kind of stuff that you're getting here. The bands that had, come up in the wake of like the Yardbirds or started doing stuff, right after the first Cream album dropped. A lot of it is, kind of cool. It's not going to be for everyone. If you're just not into that vintage of music, this isn't going to win you over. But a lot of this stuff, it shares commonalities with the kind of music that heavy metal fans like. It's pretty underground sounding. There's a lot of wild soloing here and there. A lot of these tracks have that kind of fuzzy edge to them with a little bit of, primitive distortion added. So yeah, it's again not stuff that I can play all the time. I just don't have the time or brain power to go really far down this rabbit hole and try to become a master with every one of these bands and their catalogs. You can't listen to all of it, but it is cool stuff to check out a little bit, and I'm glad to have some familiarity with it. I would definitely recommend these box sets to anybody that's interested in just kind of dipping their toes into it a bit. Good way to hear several of the bands. They're like $30 a piece or so. Usually you may find them a little cheaper than that. So not very expensive, a lot of information packed into them, and kind of a cool way to explore that scene. It's the scene that gave rise to heavy metal. It's not metal itself. I'm not going to pass any of that off as heavy metal material, but it's where your Zeppelins and Sabbaths, were just getting up and running, and shows kind of where they were getting some of their ideas from. All right. With that, I'll catch up on a few comments while Marty shows us another cool record.
All right. Well, did I need this? I didn't need this, but I've got all the rest of the stuff on vinyl, so had to get the new Death Hammer album. This one is called Crimson Dawn. And you know what? Their version of Destruction mixed with black metal with kind of a speedy rock, speed metal thing. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And this is the first record in a long time where they haven't had a goofy colored pencil cover. I got kind of the point where I was kind of looking forward to those poorly drawn, colorful covers, but I don't know. This works. It's good. It's a solid record. I think this thing had a poster and everything in it too. No, there's a booklet in here with like a bunch of colored pencil drawings in the book. Oh, let's show it. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Oh yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, here we go.
Yeah, I just heard this for the first time in the past week or so. It's a pretty good album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
It's pretty sweet. It's a pretty sweet layout. But yeah, these guys, they're a duo. They get a band together, they play live, and they rage. And it's funny. There's a pre-show thing that they're doing before they go out and play some songs, and they're like in the back drinking beers and smoking, and it's just has the 80s vibe about them all the way around. All these guys were cut from that cloth, and it translates to the music. There's a little bit of an underscore of black metal going on here, but it's thrashy, and it's just fun. They're just the tight palm muted, super fast. It brings that level of speed metal to the table, which again makes it fun. And there really isn't a lot differentiating their albums, but they're all good. They're all really good. Yeah, Witch Trap would be a band, Simon, that they're right in league with for sure. But yeah, I'll keep following these guys. They haven't let me down yet. So good stuff. Good band. Yeah. They're from Norway too, for those wondering.
Yeah. It's a good album. It's just a style that can feel a little limited. Not just for Death Hammer, for all artists. It kind of has like one particular gear, and it's a fun gear.
Yep.
But it's hard. It seems those bands seem to have a little trouble finding ways to add things over time. So the albums do kind of all start to sound the same.
All right. And that's why for me saying I probably didn't need this record, that's why, because there's nothing on this one that the other ones leading up to it didn't give me. You know what I mean? So
it's like why I never got around to buying the last Bewitcher album. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's a lot like the other Bewitcher albums. I have 3. Do I need the 4th? Not yet.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, the collector scum in me, I've been doing much better, but still it ended up on the shelf because I got all the rest of them. I got to have it. I got the rest of them. I mean,
got the rest. Got to get them.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Got to catch them all.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's a different addiction.
It's like, do I need Death Hammer on record? Probably not. Maybe if I saw it on cassette, I'd buy it. But it's just like one of those records. Like it's really fun to listen to, but it's not something I'll ever touch. I just will not go touch it. I'll listen to it, but I won't like, oh, I got to hear that Death Hammer. Where's the vinyl? Like, I'm just not going to look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not that Death Hammer album. The other Death Hammer
Oh,
album.
wait, it's the same one. Where's the one with the demon on the motorcycle? I like that one.
Yeah.
The fast one where they talk about demons and beer and stuff.
All right. A little bit different. We got the 666. This is Hustling for My Paper. This came out in 96. Horrorcore hip hop from the Bay Area. This is, I got this actually. I wanted this record for a long time. It was really, really hard to get on CD. It was only available on CD. But then this record label released it a while ago. And they put out this like contest to like try to win a record. And I actually won this record on Instagram somehow. And it's a really, really good satanic horrorcore record. This isn't like the stuff like ICP or stuff like that. This stuff gets pretty down into it as far as lyrics go. Gravedigger, Hustling for My Paper, Walking Assassin has Dre Dog, Andre Nicotina on it, Hellbound, Bloodthirst. This stuff's really has a really good beats to it. Really has a really horror sound to it. Yeah, out of San Fran. But yeah, ADR LeVay, one of the best horrorcore rappers in my opinion. And this shit's fucking sick. Yeah, Brother Lynch as well. But really good. If you guys want to hear like really actual good horrorcore stuff, check out this band. It does have a lot of like G-Funk style beats to it too, so just be aware. But the lyrics are a lot of 666 and a lot of satanic stuff. Gets kind of even more like into that kind of stuff than some black metal lyrics. So definitely check it out if you like black metal and you like rap, man. Check this one out. 666 from 96. Yeah, not jokey.
All right. Ellen.
All right. Let's see. One band whose catalog I've been slowly working my way back through is Psychotic Waltz. And the past week or so, it was Mosquito's turn for a revisit. This is their third album, which means it's the 94 album. It's usually the one people rank lowest when they're talking about the 4 original Psychotic Waltz albums. Yeah, this is a very unique band. They were out of San Diego. They had a really cool progressive metal sound, but they were trying to play this stuff, in the mid 90s in the US, and it just wasn't the right place or the right time for this style of music. If you've never heard Psychotic Waltz, they are kind of hard to describe. You get elements of Queensryche, elements of Fate's Warning. Those are kind of the 2 easiest reference points, but they really do have their own sound. They've got a very unique vocalist in Buddy Lackey. There are little places here and there where he'll sound like the guy that fronted Spiral Architect. You have a really, really great guitar team here. I can never remember both their names at the same time. It's Rock and Alpine, I think. They do really amazing guitar stuff, playing off of each other. They never get any kind of credit, but I mean, they really are locked in the same way, like, Merciful Fate, or Slayer, just in terms of that level of, being in each other's heads, writing really amazing guitar parts. The deal with Mosquito is that, first off, it's actually produced by Scott Burns. If that seems odd, yes, it is. This was one of the relatively few non-death metal things that Scott produced. And it sounds amazing. It's by far the best sounding of the Psychotic Waltz albums. They were always kind of stuck on these little labels, doing independent releases. So production budgets were tight, and the album sometimes suffered a little bit from that. But they happened to meet Scott when he was touring Europe with Chuck. There was the tour he did where he basically sort of did live sound for Chuck. And they crossed paths with Psychotic Waltz, hit it off, and yeah, he ended up working with them on some of their later stuff. So the album's got their best sound in their whole catalog. The thing that people seem to dislike about it is it feels like they do focus a little bit more on groove here compared to technicality. It's 1994. You're in the US. It's already your third album. Some folks seem to feel like they were, maybe changing with the times a little bit, trying to get some kind of attention. I mean, you do have things like, all of a sudden the band's logo is gone and it's all spelled in just lowercase letters. And you have, some of these like sort of, short song titles, that you had this all over the place in the 90s with US bands, Cold and Locked Down, Mind Song. I mean, how many this just very generic song titles. This could be any of 1,000 different bands' tunes. Nevertheless, there are good songs on Mosquito. It's not a total disaster of an album or anything, and it's not like they strayed completely away from their formula. It's just that they were kind of cleaning it up a little bit and maybe adding a little more groove. You still have some great tracks. Haze 1, the second track, could easily have been off of any of their albums. Cold is also a pretty good one. There are others here that just don't quite seem to come together. Locked Down is one that it feels like they're trying to be a little too aggressive. Again, the groove gives it a little heavier sound that just doesn't quite work for them. So there's some hits and misses on Mosquito. But if you like Psychotic Waltz and you've just avoided this album because, again, it tends to get ranked number 4 out of 4, it still definitely is worth a listen. There's enough good on here to make it worthy of a place on the shelf, and it's the production that Psychotic Waltz always wanted and needed. So it does sound really good, even if some of the songs don't quite gel the way you would hope them. So yeah, working through the Psychotic Waltz catalog, I guess Bleeding is up next. I haven't gotten to that one, so maybe that'll be next week's listen on the commute.
Right on. Well, Brian Arkham sent me a package here a little while ago, and with this little gem in it, Oblivion's Cyber Void. This is the Canadian band. This is a band that slipped through the cracks for me, and within a year or so ago, I got a bootleg copy of From This Day Forward. Listened to it once. I can't remember it at all. I remember it being kind of darker, kind of technical thrash.
Yep.
This here is their third album, came out in 1995. This is a Floga Records reissue. I was a little surprised how it's very modern. This sounds like early Meshuggah to me. The really aggressive, more modern sounding, tuned up, sharp, kind of disjointed thrash. I've only spun it twice. It's enjoyable, but it's one of those I have to be in the mood for. Not gonna lie. But it's cool. I was totally shocked. I was not expecting this. A package from Brian, and B, this. I mean, kind of cool. Kind of a neat, interesting gift. Thank you again, Brian. But yeah, I'm interested. I need to spend a little bit more time with it. When you get bands like this that are so complex, you definitely need to sit and let it stew a while. One or two listens, it isn't instant world rocking. Like I said, it's a little off-putting at times because it's modern, technical, high-tuned, just kind of busy thrash. You can tell they're wanting to maybe embrace a little bit more of an electronic, maybe a Fear Factory thing too, kind of going on in here, but it's mostly early Meshuggah to me, to my ears. But yeah, Cyber Void. Thanks again, Brian. Very cool, interesting. I never would have guessed in a million years that was in the package. Very cool.
Yep, that's cool. I've just been checking that band out lately too. And
yeah, that first Oblivion record rips.
I need to listen to it again. It's been ages.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Marty. Those kind of things do take a while to get into.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking Kiss's Revenge album.
Revenge. No.
Revenge.
I do declare. Okay.
I declare this Oblivion's rather obtuse.
All right. We got a Deviated Instinct, Guttural Breath. Oh man, this album. fucking kind of a hidden gem. Not a lot of people talk about this record. Not a lot of people know.
I've
like,
never seen that
BB.
record.
This is new to me.
So this is after they were more of a crust band when they started out, crust grindy UK band, and then they this album. This sounds like Hellhammer mixed with Paradise Lost, Celtic Frost type stuff, mixed with a bit of early Hell Bastard as well. So if you like those kind of bands, and the guitar tone on this, holy shit, dude. This shit just crushes. Another really despairing record. It's kind of a downer of a record, but it's really, really good, and the riffs are fucking primo, man. It's got that art by what's this guy's name? The guy who did
Mark Middleton. Yeah, he's in the band. He's in the band too. Mid.
Yeah, yep. And I want to say they had something to do with owning Peaceville as well, but I don't remember at the time. But yeah, man, this is a really, really good record that you guys should check out if you like that kind of crusty mid, like that D beat stuff, but mixed with like Celtic Frost and Hellhammer and a little bit of death metal too. So it's just not grindy. There's no real fast parts in this. Think kind of like axe grinder type of stuff, but
crusty crust. Yep.
Yeah, very crusty, but very death metal as well. It's not just crust. It's more metal up front than it is crust, but definitely has that. And I love that kind of music. One of my favorite genres, that kind of stuff. So yeah, amazing shit. Record needs more attention for sure.
Yeah, Ryan, I checked that out as well. The new Paradise Lost. I enjoyed it. There's
it's good.
Yeah, some James Hetfieldisms on there that kind of bugged me a little bit, but it's a good record. Alan reviewed it for the channel. Go check out his review. Very, very good, good album.
Yep. Yeah, it's not bad. It's, it feels like recent Paradise Lost. I don't like it quite as much as the past two albums, I guess is my only, biggest complaint about it. Medusa and Obsidian, I think, were really, really good. So this one's just maybe a tier below those two. Well, that kind of plays into what I'll show next. I did want to mention, if I'm dropping off camera from time to time, folks, again, I'm a little sick tonight. I figure folks would rather not watch me blow my nose and spit goobers out. So if I'm ducking out, that's why. But yeah, with that Paradise Lost review, I paired it up with another recent Doomy release, which is the new Faytooth album, Labyrinthine. Haven't had a chance to order a physical copy of this yet. They do have it on CD and vinyl available through Bandcamp. This is a LA band. This is their second album, and it really, really good. It's, they have a strange combination of kind of, it's sludgy to a degree, doomy to a degree, a lot of post-rock or kind of sounds as well. They get a really crushing guitar tone. They had that on the first album, and they did get it again here. I was really happy to see they were working with the same producer, because, yeah, they really have this band sound nailed down great. And they also use them sparingly, but they have, some really vicious sounding extreme vocals. I'm not sure which member does them. And again, it's not the main focal focus. Most of them are, cleaner vocals, but they're just adding, these, a line here and a line there, with these really, really depraved sounding kind of blackened screeches and snarls. And it's really effective. So yeah, I liked their debut from a couple of years ago quite a bit. Marty and Jim and the guys talked it up on the album club quite a bit when it came out. And so, yeah, I was interested to see what they would do, because they did lose a member since that first album, but the new one still sounds fantastic. The first several songs on this are very heavy and very dark with some of the lyrics. The last half of the album lightens up a little bit, just enough to, kind of contrast the first half, but they're good at both styles. And it's kind of, the whole trick with Faytooth is they're balancing this, kind of, lighter, pretty serene post-punk thing against this really sludgy, crushing, heavy, snarling doom thing. But they really make it work. It doesn't feel just like one thing is grafted onto the other in some clumsy fashion. They actually find ways to make both those styles work side by side really nicely. So yeah, if folks haven't checked this out yet, Feytooth, the only band currently in the fairy doom subgenre, but that's okay. I can dig that.
Right on. Yeah, get the new Black Magnet album, Mega Mantra. This is on Federal Prisoner Records. These guys are, they put out 2 albums on $20 spin, but it's basically industrial. They're the $20 spin albums. There's elements of guitar mixed in. There might be a little. I've only listened to this twice. I need to spend more time with it, but it's this is even more into the industrial sphere for sure. It's just very intense, heavy, really well done. This is really cool. I really like the cover too. I like the simplicity of this, calling back to the old Godflesh look. Was not a band that belonged on $20 spin. I think it's cool Dave took a chance on this stuff because it's really good music, and I enjoy industrial music. So I bought both of the records he put out on vinyl because I just had to. I couldn't not get them, and have to keep following the band because they are really, really good. They're a 4-piece now, I believe. But yeah, these songs are savage, really well done, modern. Like I said, very heavy industrial music. Not a lot of metal on here, but the way that it comes across, the aggression of it presents as metal, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it's good stuff. The only thing, I'm missing an EP by them, and I think there's a couple other singles, but good band. Check them out on Bandcamp if you're into the industrial stuff. Dennis.
All right. Pulled another demo, another one from Mexico. This is Cenotaph with their second demo. Oh no, this is the first demo from 1990 actually. So yeah, man, this is the production on it's really raw. It sounds like it was recorded live. It might have been, I don't know. Not much inside. Again, it does have kind of a nice glossy kind of cover, but not glossy, but like a decent cardboard cover,
yeah.
Like thick stock for a demo. Just these songs, this demo reminds me a lot of more like New York death metal. It sounds a lot like early Immolation and early Incantation. I know they progress more into like more of the European style later on, but this demo is just raw as fuck. It's heavy, nasty. It's got all these different riffs everywhere, and it's just, and the production just makes it sound disgusting. So, yeah, man, I just started jamming this one. I hadn't listened to this one in a long time. I usually listen to like the second demo, the 7-inch Tenebrous Apparitions, I think it's called, or something like that.
Yep.
But this one, definitely check this out. I don't think a lot of people listen to this one because it's kind of a bit obscure. But yeah, man, this one's really good if you like that kind of style. Just more, I don't want to say sloppy, but it's not like, it sounds very like off the cuff. Like we just wrote these songs, now we're going to record our demo. But yeah, man, I think it has like six songs or something on it. 5 songs on it.
Is Corchado on that one?
Huh?
Is Daniel Corchado on that one?
Let's see.
I want to say yes, but
yeah, he plays bass and vocals on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Killer stuff.
Daniel rules. Great dude.
Yeah. Killer band. And I get, they went on to like, their full length and their 7-inch are great stuff, and Epic Rights and that kind of stuff is awesome as well. But that demo, rough sounding, if you like I said, early Immolation, Incantation, New York death metal with like a lot of I don't want to say emotion, I guess, but it just has that like grimy death metal feeling that you could only get back in 1990.
There's
It
a
has
little
that
bit of
very-
riff salad going on too. A lot of riffs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of riffs
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Almost
Grimy's
like
a good word for it
You're
too.
just
Grimy.
like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, it's all over the place, but somehow it just works.
Yep.
Yeah, killer shit.
Yeah, I like your description of it as grimy. That's a good way to describe it. Yeah, if folks are only familiar with, like, the albums and stuff, this stuff definitely has more of that raw demo feel to it. But that's cool.
All right, Ellen.
All right, let's see. This just showed up in the mailbox a couple of days ago. I had this album a long time ago, but it was long gone. I found a very cheap copy on Discogs because it's a little scuffed up. It's not mint, but it's one of those things that's been out of print for a while, so copies are actually now expensive. It's Symphony X with their 6th album, The Odyssey. US, kind of neoclassical power metal band. Very talented guys. You've got Russell Allen on vocals. He's guest appeared on lots of things. Michael Romeo on guitar. He's one of those modern shred guys. I'll get this out of the case because it's glaring really badly. But
Good album.
yeah,
Good band. I love that band.
they are a very good band. I don't always have them on quite the same high pedestal that some folks do, but they are very, very good.
Super tight guitar work. That Michelangelo dude is just so clean and perfect. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, they are. He sometimes is just like so fast that the stuff starts to blur together a little bit. I mean, he's very clean and precise, but it can make the songs start to bleed together sometimes. It's always just been one of my minor complaints about the band. But yeah, it's kind of weird that they haven't put anything out for a decade now. So they're still around to my knowledge, but it's been 10 years since the last studio album. This is not the last studio album. This is from their stint. I want to say this was when they were still with Metal Blade, but maybe Metal Blade was distributing their stuff for a little bit or something, I think. But yeah, these albums have been... they're just out of print, and they're from the early 2000s, which means they're all like now 17, 18 years old. And so most of the time, when you find them on Discogs or eBay, they're, now $20, $25, $30, which stinks. But yeah, somebody had this on Discogs for $5, but they were very clear. It's like, look, the booklet's a bit warped. The disc has, a lot of scuffs and stuff on it. So they were selling it cheap. I was just like, I will give, $5 in shipping to, pick that back up. Sure. I would not want to pay $25 or $30 to get another copy of it. But yeah, like Marty said, really good band, very tight sound. They know what they're doing. Yeah, I think the only thing that ever held them back a little bit for me personally was just that, sometimes they just blaze along and stuff starts to run together. If I'm not paying a lot of attention to it, it can be hard to keep track of. This one's called The Odyssey because, track number 8, it's a big 24-minute epic, they're telling of, the Odyssey. No surprise there. Good subject material for a band like this. They've got the chops to do something interesting with that. So, this is another band where I've kind of been slowly revisiting their catalog. I have a few of their albums. There's a couple I used to have and didn't. There's a couple I never got around to picking up either. So
I'm missing a couple, I think, but I got a pretty good chunk of their collection. It's good.
Yeah, and again, at least for me, they've never felt like a band where I need every one of their albums, but they are good. And they're definitely a cut above most of their peers. There's a lot of generic power metal bands out there. The same is true of every genre, but Symphony X has always been one of a step or two above just, the average. So, and absolutely. There's nothing real gimmicky about them. They, there's no, goofy costumes. They're not, doing anything, and there's no stage antics or anything like that. It's just really talented musicians playing really fast, really good power metal. So if you're somebody that's, interested in power metal, but always a little gun shy about the, goofiness of it, Symphony X might be a band you could get into. They don't have any of those, kind of silly things that can be a turnoff to some fans.
The cool thing about them is they're really super technical, but the songwriting is so melodic and memorable that it doesn't, the being technical just kind of adds to the sweetness of what they're doing, as opposed to being riff salad or too busy. It's, I don't know, it's a really, they walk a good line in their songwriting.
They do, yeah. They like, same with their keyboard use. It's present. It adds a dimension to the music, but they never go overboard where you're just, have way too many synthesizers going off or anything. So it's just like, we'll use them when we need them. And when we don't, we won't. So, yep, they're good at that kind of balancing act. That's a good point, Marty.
All right. Well, I showed this record recently-ish on the channel and realized, God, I haven't spun this thing in years. Time to change that. Threw this on one night. This album rules. God, it's so good. The production of it, the guitar tone is just mean. There's in the, what the hell is Stacey Anderson?
Yep.
His vocals were so unique. It is kind of like a yelling, screeching, singing style, like this weird combination. There's a little bit of speed metal on here too. This is a very unique U.S. band. I don't remember where they're from. Are they from Virginia or something like that? I don't remember.
Georgia, Atlanta.
Georgia. But yeah, I really, really love their first two records. Their third album, Monument, it really took me a few 20 or so spins to when I got that tape. I'm like, what is going on with this cover? What is going on?
Cover's horrible.
Yeah, but they're a couple good songs started to present themselves, and before you know it, I was liking the whole thing. I think that album starts with Speed Freak, which I didn't like very well. Speed Freak. Yeah. But this album, this is super special. Of course, There Are No Rules. What a great song. Plunging to Megadeth. How's Eve? Oh my God. This, if you've never heard this record, listen to Tales of Terror. This is a very unique, awesome, aggressive US metal record. Speed metal record, maybe at times. It leans into that at times.
Yeah.
But colored
it's
pencils,
in that little
man.
It's in that little nexus between just traditional metal, thrash metal, and speed metal.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
James Murphy was in this band for a minute too, which is the most odd, obscure, weird.
Yep.
It was during a time when he was in every band for at least 48 hours.
Yeah. But it was that weird window where Chuck was talking to him about working on spiritual healing. But he had just driven up to Atlanta to start working with those guys and felt obligated to help them. And then like 24 hours later, Chuck was talking to him again. He's just like, oh my God, what am I doing? And like jumps in his car and goes right back to Florida to do spiritual healing instead.
Yeah. This band photo looks like a Sasquatch photo. It's so great. They're all like blurry and obscured and like.
That's rad, dude.
This dude right here, he looks like. Yeah. Anyway,
but yeah, if folks like things like like the first Overkill album or the Anthrax debut, early Exciter, you'll like How's Eve album.
So fun, great record.
Yeah, and Alexander, who just asked, Marty reviewed the Primal Fear album on the channel not too long ago. So, yep.
Check out another review. Metallurgy's bringing you some reviews. Go watch them, damn it. A few of you are, but not many of you.
Yeah, Marty liked it. He felt like not to put words in your mouth, but it seemed like maybe the middle of the album, was a little quiet, dipped a little, but you really liked the early end tracks, if I remember right. So
it starts strong and strong, but really, I think the last album was better. I think the last. But still, this one, if you're a Primal Fear fan, you're not going to be surprised by anything on here. It sounds like a Primal Fear record. So
that's cool.
Dennis.
All right. We're going with another satanic hip hop record. This is Maniac. This is part of the Sigils with Children of the Corn, Tommy Wright, HOH. Who else? NOD. Yeah. Man, this stuff's. I'll tell you what it is. It's psycho shit. Yeah, man. This is like produced. It sounds like it was like recorded in like a basement. Honestly,
Dennis and Aaron need to go on a road trip together, like bosom buddies on the road, listening to their raps.
Yeah, you'd love this stuff. It sounds like it was recorded on. You remember those like those recorders where it was just like the one little mic and you hit the record button? Sounds like it was recorded on that. But it's fucking amazing. The beats are great. The lyrics are very satanic. Very. I'll tell you this. Look up the sigils. If you don't know what the sigils are, they're kind of a West Memphis rap spell almost, where if you had listened to these on original cassettes and murdered somebody, then you would be able to sell more records. They had, when you listen to, so when they did this record, they put like a kind of like a something from the Necronomicon or something like that when they did these records. So that
spell type of thing.
Yeah. So when it was, but it could only be on the magnetic tape, so that when you listen to it, you had that, it made you want to go and buy these records. But you had to murder they had to murder somebody to do the spell to put it onto the magnetic tape at the same time. So it's a big thing. There's big long explanations on YouTube about it. So definitely check it out. But
so they did indeed do that for that cassette.
Not this one, because this is not the original. I don't even know if who has an original copy of this. Like, this is like one of the most impossible things to get. Even getting this and like the Children of the Corn original is probably one of the harder ones to get. Which I do have a Children of the Corn cassette as well, but this one, man, yeah. Yeah, really good, crazy shit. Definitely check it out if you like that kind of stuff.
All right. Alan.
All right. Let's see. Picked this up a month or two ago. I had never owned a copy of it, and have really enjoyed just playing the hell out of it a lot lately. It is Hendrix's third and last album with the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Electric Ladyland. This is just a really nice reissue that was done in, I think, 2014. So it's a 2-disc set. The second disc is a DVD that has like interviews and stuff about the making of Electric Ladyland. I haven't watched it yet. I hardly ever sit down and watch DVDs. So, yep, those things just aren't there. But, what's Aaron saying here?
Oh, he's talking about the rap.
Okay. Still going on that. I let him have his fun with that. But yeah, everyone knows Hendrix. Everyone knows certain songs. And I've had, Are You Experienced? I've owned a couple of copies of it over time. And I've always had issues with that album where it's like, individually, I like a lot of the songs from Are You Experienced? But I never feel like I want to play the whole album at once. It's like, okay, I'll put it on play, whatever song is stuck in my head, I'll play that song. But by the time I play the whole album, I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm done with this. Put it back on the shelf. Don't know why. I mean, it was an album that was very rushed in the writing and making. I mean, it's obviously still a classic, but I don't know if it's something about the production or just that, there are some songs that are kind of thrown together. And even the band has admitted, it's just like, we just went in, hit record, and we needed 2 more songs. Here you go. Bam, bam. Just use that to fill it out with. You don't get that sense with Electric Ladyland at all. This, everything here flows together very well. It's, a long listen, of course, as a double album. And it doesn't necessarily feature like, tons of the, smash hits kind of songs from Hendrix's career. Of course, it ends with All Along the Watchtower, one of the big ones. But a lot of the tracks throughout most of its run are not that caliber of big single hit. Nevertheless, it's, a fantastic listen. It's got great sound quality to it. They put a lot of work into the production. You could tell this album wasn't so rushed. That they really had some time to think about this one, plan it, and put it together, incorporate all the, little touches, that Jimi wanted included in it. And yeah, as such, this one is something that I can play the whole album and just, go back, hit play again. That afternoon, play it again. This album has a lot more repeatability for me than the debut album did. Again, the debut album has most of the hits, but this feels like a full album concept. And coming out, pretty sure this is 67 too, because I think it got stuck right behind Sgt. Pepper's on a lot of the Billboard charts. So yeah, big part of it came out at the right time too. It hit right there for the Summer of Love, part of the soundtrack to that. It's kind of crazy that this and Sgt. Pepper would have come out within a matter of months of each other. But there you go. Been cool to finally have like a really nice copy of it and have enjoyed the hell I've played this more in the past 2 months than probably any other album in the past 2 months. Just a good one to go back to.
Clicking really with you. Yeah.
Get into. Yeah. And again, I always knew like it was good, but having it, in a nice CD package here, it's just like, it's been right for whatever mood I've been in lately. If you haven't noticed from the random stuff I've been playing, I've been kind of all over the board the past couple of months in listening. But that one has absolutely been front and center on my playlist ever since for a solid month now. Yeah, early September, late August. So can't say enough good things about Electric Ladyland.
All right. Well, along with Hallows Eve, I realized I haven't spun this banger in a while either. Destruction, Sentence of Death. And yes, this is the right cover. This is the correct cover for this fucking album release and mini LP. Not the other one from the same photo shoot where they're standing. Nah, this is the one. And we've talked about Infernal Overkill a lot on here, and it was interesting to put this on. A lot raw, a little more splintered production, frayed ends here and there, but really good. Schmear, Mike, and Tommy. Special fucking thanks to. But you got Total Disaster, Black Mass, Mad Butcher, Satan's Vengeance, and Devil's Soldiers. Yeah, classic. Metal Blade Records. The Metal Blade version had this cover, and then the SPV had the one where they were standing. But it's one of those covers where you just kind of want to listen to it. And I've been flipping over, getting stuff for the show, and I'd always pull it out and look at it and like, oh, I need to circle back to that. Finally did the other night. It was a lot of fun.
I love the logo on that.
Yeah, the logo is top notch. I wonder if they even had the logo sorted out at this point. I'm thinking probably not.
No.
But
Aaron has told a story about that before, I think, where it was some of the guys on the Texas metal scene that ended up designing the Destruction logo for the band. And so it may have been that they got the EP, loved it, got in touch with the band, and had like done a doodle design that they ended up using as the logo.
Yeah.
I may be butchering that. Aaron, please feel free to set the record straight in the chat. But I'm pretty sure, because I think Aaron knew one of the guys that was kind of behind the design of the Destruction logo.
All right. Dennis.
All right. I have to mention, I got a few Slayer things in here, so bear with me.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not normal Slayer things. So, this is the Rain and Blood demo.
Oh, neat.
Huh.
This thing fucking rips, man.
Never heard it.
Oh, shit. So,
never heard it.
Guitar is a lot crunchier on this, a little bit slowed down. The vocals are a bit different on this. Angel of Death, he doesn't do the scream in the beginning. It's got Piece by Piece, Necrophobic, Criminally Insane, Reborn, Postmortem, Raining Blood, and of course, Aggressive Perfector. Seems like Aggressive Perfector's on every Slayer release. Bonus track, Aggressive Perfector. Yeah. You're going to love this song, whether you like it or not. It's going to be on every release. But
I heard the Slayer version before I heard the Judas Priest version of it.
But man, this is.
I'm thinking of a different song. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of didn't they do a cover of
Dissident Aggressor.
Distant Aggressor? Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
I've done that before too, Marty.
it's derp.
But yeah, man, this is a kind of a banger, dude. I highly suggest that you guys check this one out. If you like, it feels like, I don't know. You remember that special on MTV where it was like a hard and heavy, and they would do like this little segment, and they did a special on thrash metal. It was like it was speed metal, and they had like a little thing on Slayer, and they were like playing like riffs from Rain and Blood in their like basement or rehearsal studio. I'm pretty sure that's
okay.
I'm pretty sure. And I was like, I remember hearing that when I was a kid because it was in between Helloween and Rain and Blood, and I was like, oh, that sounds sick. But yeah, but this is a banger, man. Really good demo. Is it better than the original, than the full length? Probably not, but I like this one a lot. When I first heard this, there's another version, Def Jam demos as well, that has no vocals. That's pretty good as well. But this is the one with vocals, and I like this one. Even though it's not the full record, the songs that are on here, it's really cool to hear them like slowed down and a little bit heavier.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've never seen it or ever heard of it. Yeah.
I've never come across that either. But
yeah, and I saw it on vinyl, and I was like, wait, this is on vinyl? I should grab it. Because I always listened to it like on YouTube for years, and then I saw there was a vinyl release. So I was like, shit, I should pick it up.
Right on.
Very cool.
All right, Ellen.
Yeah, and in case folks missed it in the chat, yeah, Aaron posted the story. It was the guys at Rockadrome Records that would do logos for bands that didn't have a logo, and the guys from Destruction really liked the logo they did. So yeah, thanks, Aaron, for filling in those details. I knew you had told that story, but I was fuzzy on the details. All right, well, let's go from Jimi Hendrix to Norwegian black metal. Did I mention my listening habits have been a little all over the board lately? This, I'm finally wading into some post-Transylvanian Hunger Dark Throne. It's a band I like the first 4 albums. You know, I don't play them very often. I've never quite had Dark Throne on that same level as the other early black metal bands from Norway. You know, it's more like, you know, Mayhem, Emperor, Burzum, Immortal, Dark Throne. So I just never really have dug through their catalog. Their catalog's ridiculously huge, and most people will tell you they tend to be of varying quality over the years. But so I just never really felt the need to dig into it a lot. But a few other albums have started showing up used locally. I guess somebody's, you know, thinning out their Dark Throne shelf. And so I've kind of been quietly picking them up here and there. And it started with this one, Total Death, which, Marty, you can help me out. Is this their 6th album? I want to say. It's not the one right after Transylvanian Hunger. I think there's one in between.
No. Yeah, Panzerfaust. That's the one after Panzerfaust.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, there's Panzerfaust, which I still haven't heard. And then this one showed up. It's like, huh. And again, I don't know their catalog at all, but it was like, you know, it was sitting there in the used bin, like, well, okay, sure, why not? Let's give it a chance. And actually, it's quite good. I do like this one. It's got a really good production, which is kind of the first thing that you're not expecting on a Dark Throne album. Everyone's so used to those, albums 2, 3, and 4. I always want to say the first 3, but it's technically not, of course. Everyone got so used to this that raw primitive sound they used on Blaze in the Northern Sky through Transylvanian Hunger. That it never really occurred to me that later Dark Throne wouldn't sound like that, which was a stupid thing to think. But again, I never had really just ventured deeper into their catalog. So right away, it's just like, whoa, this is Dark Throne with a really solid production. It sounds heavy. There's a bottom end to it.
More Celtic Frost riffs.
You can hear more of that. Yeah, Celtic Frost kind of influence on it for sure. A lot of good tracks on here. I didn't know it when I bought it, but yeah, it turns out that, as fans of the band will know, they got a lot of their buddies from the scene to write some of these different songs and parts for them. So it's not all material, just from the Dark Throne lineup. But yeah, it's worked very well. Some of the ones I really like here. What we got on here? Blackwinged is quite good. Let's see. I like the last track, Serpent's Harvest. It's a longer, slower track. And it's one I've noticed in some of the album reviews. Folks are like, yeah, didn't need that one. I'm like, actually, that sounds really good. This song is neither good nor bad. It's one of the little things that always just kind of help me kind of keep Dark Throne at arm's length. You have song titles like, Gather for Attack on the Pearly Gates. It's like, Pearly Gates, really? It's just cheesy enough and kind of juvenile sounding enough. I'm just like, I don't need to hear a song called that. Can you not come up with something slightly cooler sounding than we're going to attack the Pearly Gates? Boom, boom, boom. I don't know. Those kind of song titles are the kind of thing that made me steer clear of these albums. But musically, it's fine. It just has kind of a goofy title to my mind. But yeah, bottom line is just like, okay, if this is what kind of the next phase of Dark Throne sounded like, then I probably need to pick up a few more albums from this period. And like I said, it feels I've picked up a couple more. This is the only one I want to talk about tonight. But yeah, it seems like somebody locally is, slipping these into the used bin, bringing them in for some trade credit. So I'm just like, sooner or later, Panzerfaust probably is going to show up. And when it does, I'll just put it over here. So we'll see. It also threw me off. I didn't realize this album has the one that usually has like the kind of like blue cover, more like planetary.
That there is the original vinyl pressing artwork, and the one with the blue with the planet. That's the original CD art. Yeah. And I didn't until I was like, I'd already bought this and was looking up on Dark. I was like, oh, it's that album, because I had only ever seen the CD artwork. Yeah. So that's a way cooler cover than the other one. Yeah. I kind of like the other cover just because it is a little more unique for them. But this one definitely kind of fits the mood and the style of the music better. So yeah, they both work. But yeah, I mean, it was even that, just like, oh, it's that album. Okay, cool. So yeah, I am slowly starting to explore a little more of the Dark Throne catalog. Not all the ones I've picked up have worked so far, but that one worked really well. Definitely digging the Total Death album. Chris recommends Ravishing Grimness. I agree. That's a great record. Good production, good songs. Hate Them. I really like Hate Them. That's one of the last ones they've done that was like a fave. I thought that was a great record. I'm keeping an eye on the used bin, and we'll pick some up here and there as they show up. We'll maybe report back in a few months and spin another one. Right on. Watch our drunken deep dive on them and get all the scoop. I've tried, but it's bad. It gets so bad. It's a fun listen if folks have not watched. I wasn't on that episode because I have no business being on a Dark Throne deep dive. But Marty, Ben, Austin. Did y'all have a fourth? Yes, Roger. Yeah, Roger. He was the only sober one of the bunch. Roger, bless his heart, he tries to keep that boat on the straight and narrow, and you guys do not make it easy on him. We sunk the boat. That boat is sunk in one of the Norwegian fjords. We are not locating that shipwreck anytime soon. None of us had water wings either. It was pretty ugly. All right. Well, another EP. I was a hot minute there. I was listening to EPs and realized I haven't spun this one in a while. Self-titled Helloween. The first self-titled Helloween mini LP. Starlight, Murderer, Warrior, Victim of Fate, Cry for Freedom. They're kids at this point, and god damn it, they're so good. So freaking good. The musicality on here, listening to how Waiki and Kai would just work off of each other. Then they'd link up to those twin lead lines, and it's just perfect. It's just a trademark Helloween, but a little more young, spirited, a little more speed metal in their sound. This album is just fantastic. Absolutely great. And I was surprised. I thought I had a noise version, but I have the Bonsai Records pressing of this. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
the Bonsai cassette version.
Do you?
Yeah.
Which I guess it makes sense. North American pressing. I mean, it says 1985 Noise Records in small print, but yeah, this is the Bonsai pressing. It's great. Absolutely awesome. If you've never heard it, and kids doing it, it still holds up to this day. The songs are so well developed, so well played. Great mix of quiet and loud. Well done.
Yeah, it's a classic EP for sure.
Absolutely classic.
And for folks that don't like their later stuff, I mean that's just pure speed metal.
Yeah, that EP rips. I love that EP.
Yeah. I mean, you do get even a little bit of their humor, even on that one though, with the little intro part to Starlight.
Yeah.
But yeah, after you get past the oh shit, it's all 5 of those tracks absolutely slay.
Absolutely slay. All right, Dennis.
All right. Speaking of black metal, we're going with
I spun that CD recently too, and it'd be interesting to hear what you think of it, because I was a little underwhelmed.
Blood for Satan. This is a crazy record, man.
Kind of crazy. It's a little rough to listen to. It's pretty harsh. You know what I mean?
It is harsh.
Yeah.
It's I like it a lot, honestly. I think it goes straight for the throat and never lets up. I do feel it's a little it doesn't get to where it wants to go, where I feel like they want to get you to believe that they're so satanic and this is the most satanic record you've ever heard. That's why it's a little underwhelming. But man, some of the riffs on this are fucking ripping, man. And I really like how they put mix in these kind of samples on some of the songs where it fits the music really good. Obviously, you got Evil Dead on here. You got some Exorcist 3, that kind of stuff. And the song titles are hilarious as well. It's kind of like the opposite of Horde, where Horde's so anti-Satan. This is so positive Satan. It's like the total opposites, man. It's and they're both just not really genuine, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure this is just the guys from And Oceans, and this is their side project.
See, I don't know. Let me look them up real quick.
Yeah, I know the guys in And Oceans are in this band. But if you guys haven't heard, I mean, I got to read the song titles because it's hilarious. But and on the back, this is true black metal, not that fake shit. And you have of Blackest Witchcraft, Enemy of the Day, Graveyard Ritual, A Horn Moon Rising, Blood for Satan, To Haunt and to Feed, Within Ye Woods Before Ye Throne. Yeah, it's very pro Satan, whereas Horde is anti Satan. But this is good. I like this record. It's very has a lot of death metal in it. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of death metal.
Yeah.
In this record.
It's kind of funny. You look at who was in it, and you're right. And Ocean's dudes, in Ocean Crescent, Yimmer, Baptism, Chamber of Unlight, Trollheim's Grot. I mean, it's like all the Finnish scene. They're all so incestuous. There are a million different dudes in a million different projects.
I just love the aesthetic to this record because it's so it's just like a Halloween record. Like if you're gonna play a record for Halloween, because it's still kind of goofy, but still the riffs. It's like one of those records you want to be like, oh, this record's gonna suck, and then you're just like, It's kind of like the Predator for me. It's like this record's not going to be that good, and then all of a sudden you're like, damn, this record's actually pretty good. But I like this record. I like it a lot. Is it my favorite black metal record? Probably not, because it came out way too late.
Yeah.
But I like how they just go for it. Like if you're gonna be black metal, just go for it, right? Just be the most over the top satanic band that you can. And that's what they did. And it's almost like a Kiss thing to me. It's just kind of over the top, kind of in your face brutality. I mean, it's good shit. I like it. You don't like the record, Marty?
I think Ben showed it. on something. He was on the show and he showed it. I'm like, God, I haven't spun that in ages. And I put it on, and it didn't sound as Finnish as I thought it did, as I
No,
remembered
it's
it
not
sounding.
Finnish at all. It doesn't
It's-
sound Finnish at all.
It was very aggressive, and it just didn't have it. It didn't seem very. They were trying to be so dissonant and evil. It just they forgot to write catchy songs, you know. So I don't know. I don't know. The jury's out. I've had the CD forever.
Yeah.
Ever since I've had it ever since it came out. But it's like,
I think it's catchy. It's catchy for me anyway.
I need to revisit it. I might not have been in the mood.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna, you got to just take it with a grain of salt. Honestly.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was the dudes from And Oceans. First I looked up to see who was in the band. Very cool bit of information there. All right, Alan.
All right. Well, Dark Throne's not the only kind of veteran black metal act that I've been slowly filling in a few gaps on. Also been coming across a couple of old Marduk albums that I never got around to experiencing. Someone had brought in, this is a reissue of their fourth album, Heaven Shall Burn When We Are Gathered.
That's a good album.
Well, yeah, it actually is. And it's the one I had never heard out of this run.
Cover, though. I don't understand that cover.
Yeah,
I don't either. And that's what threw me off when I saw it in the store. I didn't really stop and look at it. I just figured it was a later one or, some kind of weird compilation or something. But then I kind of went back. Like, well, what the heck was it? I had to literally stop, flip back through. I was like, wait a minute. That's one of the earlier albums. But yeah, it normally has, more like a purplish cover to it with a bunch of demons down here.
Yeah.
I don't like this particular art as much. I wish it had the original cover to it. Yeah, but again, it's cheap. It's in the used bin. I'll pick it up and give it a chance. Because, I didn't realize it when I checked on Metal Archives. I'm like, yeah, I had all of their albums through Panzer Division Marduk, except this one and the debut for some reason. So I was like, that's weird that I missed that one. So I decided to go ahead and pick it up. And yeah, it's, as Dennis just said, it's a pretty good album.
Love how the bass cuts through it. B-War is playing a Rickenbacker, and it just has that distinctive slice and dice sound to it. It's great.
Yeah, and it feels like, this is kind of a point where they're, getting into their whole Vlad the Impaler phase, which they would kind of double down on with the follow-up album, Nightwing. It also feels like, this is kind of the point where they are ramping up the speed more. They were doing some of that on Opus Nocturne compared to those of the Unlight, but here they're getting a bit faster. They, of course, would take it to a really ridiculous extreme a couple albums later with Panzer Division. But yeah, this one, you can tell, they had a lot of lineup shifts early on. I always have trouble keeping up with who's on which album early with Marduk. But it's really not a bad album. I'm glad I picked it up. I still need to go back and pick up Dark Endless sometime. I've heard of Dark Endless. But this one I had never even heard. Just somehow it never made it into a tape trade or anything. I used to see it advertised all the time in zines and stuff. If it had the purple cover, I would have known what it was immediately. But yeah, this cover did throw me off that afternoon. I'm glad I went back and double checked it to see what the heck it was. So yeah, Marduk was just another one that it's occurred to me lately that you don't hear people talk about them very much. But they were one of those very early bands on the scene. Yep. They always kind of stayed on the scene. The albums they put out, they were never, and it seems like they were in that category. It's like never my favorite band, but always pretty good. I don't know if the more recent stuff has just kind of fallen off, if they got stuck in a rut, or if they did something weird that got people pissed off at them and everyone just stopped paying attention to their albums. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to hear a little bit of these early Marduk ones that slipped through the cracks back in the day. Don't mind picking that kind of thing up and giving it a chance.
Yeah, and it was cool too that they were like, Dark Endless was more of a death metal record. Same thing with the first Dark Throne too, like Soul Side. Like they were both death metal records, and then they kind of just changed to like black metal like on the next record, which was kind of odd to me because I had both those records before, especially the Dark Throne, man. I had Soul Side. I was like, man, this record fucking rules.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what just happened to this band?
Yeah, that's probably the most drastic example of that change.
Yeah. But Marduk too, like that for Dark Illness is a great record. Love that record.
I remember liking it when I heard it, and yeah, that's it doesn't sound like the ones that came after it. I don't remember it being as much of a change from Dark Endless to Those of the Unlight as like Dark Throne went through, but I may be misremembering too. It's been a long time since I heard Dark Endless. But
all right,
I did. I know what the other one. I picked up the demo a while back too. Fuck Me Jesus, and yeah, that one, it's a lot more deathy for sure. Still good, and that one, it feels like there's some black metal elements to it.
I feel like that was the record that that EP or demo got them on the map because of that drawing, and then everybody was wearing the shirts at the shows, and
yep,
big deal. Same thing with the Cradle of Filth shirt.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody except me bought that shirt at Milwaukee Metal Fest '99.
I was watching The Gathering. I was standing behind a guy that was wearing that shirt. I'm listening to Annika sing so beautifully. I look down and the Jesus is a.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, well, that's nice.
They sold a lot of merch that weekend.
I just remember seeing those shirts, and me and my friend Ian, we were just like, who's going to wear a shirt that says "Fuck Me Jesus" on it? What is going on? I'm not wearing that shit.
Yeah. Good luck getting out of the house with that one. Shut up, Mom. You don't understand me.
I'm wearing this to church.
I'll show them what I'm all about. Yeah. All right. Well, I was digging through a stack of CDs and didn't even realize I had this thing. It is hard to read. Damned by Wolf Brigade.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't know that.
Really awesome, aggressive D beat. It's put your head down and rock, kind of just straight ahead, no frills. It's like a punkier, crustier Motorhead kind of vibe,
Yeah.
Just dirty, filthy, aggravated D beat. Catchy songs. I don't understand the cover is showing up remarkably well from the camera, but in the light you can hardly see it. The back you can hardly read. It's like, but yeah, these guys were awesome. Did they have a name change at one point too? Wolf. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass. It seems like I have one other of their albums I don't remember, but someone gave this to me. It ended up somewhere, but yeah, really good stuff. No frills, D-beat, crusty, awesome. If you're into that, in the mood for that, these guys definitely will tide you over for sure. Dennis.
Yeah, bit underrated for sure.
Yep.
All right, I listened to this demo like 6 times today. Probably their best stuff in my opinion.
Thanks, Ryan Pest. Wolfpack. Yeah.
Cathedral demo. Dude, this demo is heavy stuff. It's got 4 songs on it. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Cathedral, honestly. I just like this demo. Like the first record's good, but for me, man, this demo, the way that Lee sings on it is way different than what he sings. He's way more guttural on this. But this and the production on this super heavy, super man, the guitar tone, everything is just crushing on this thing. Sounds like it's played at half speed. It's so like slow and heavy. But shit. If you guys haven't heard this demo, I had this the first time I heard this demo, I had the what was that comp called? There was like a Doom comp, and they had like it was on Rise Above, and it had Cathedral, it had like 2 Cathedral songs, Penance, Confessor on it. I don't remember the other bands, but it was I heard like these 2 songs, and then I got this demo, and blew me away. And then I got the full length and I'm like, what just happened? Like they got like weird. But this is just pure doom. It doesn't have anything to do with any kind of psychedelic stuff really at all. A lot of these songs are on the first record. I think like 1 or 2 songs are on the full length, but they're played different. But the production on this is way heavier. So have you guys heard this demo?
I don't think I have.
Oh, wow. You got to check it out. It's so different than like what you hear on the full length.
So,
and I know
vocally, is it different too than what we hear on the full length? Because that was
the what?
The vocals.
Yeah, the vocals are different. Like I said, the vocals are way different.
I was reading, so I didn't hear you while I was reading. I
was like the vocals, like Lee's vocals are way more. He's way like lower in the vocals.
Yeah.
On this than in the full length, and everything's just over the top heavy. Like they meant to make just this crushing doom record or doom demo, and that's what they did on this. Whereas the full length has more psychedelic stuff. The demo doesn't have any of that on it. It's just pure.
I'm gonna have to hear that because I remember buying Force of Equilibrium when it came out.
You're gonna be like, damn, this is fucking crushing.
I got home, listened to it once, broke the tape, and took it back to Camelot and said, "This tape is defective." Oh, you don't have another one? Darn it! Can I get something different, please?
Yeah. Okay, what do you want? I'll get the Dead Youth.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Right? Yeah. Fucked again.
I did that with the Necrosaint. I bought the first Necrosaint, that one that has those weird heads on it. I'm like, this sucks. This doesn't work.
Yep. You couldn't do it too often because you have to look too and see who's working the counter. Like, oh, that guy knows I bought that tape. So
yeah, no returns.
No returns. Yeah.
Live with it.
Got my receipt.
Yeah, I remember my friend, he like bought the Count Raven and he was like, this sucks. And he's like, yeah, no returns. And he's like, yeah, I just listen to it when I sleep. It's fine.
All right. Alan.
All right, let's stray back into something that's heavy but not metal. I can't quite get a read on this album yet, so maybe y'all can shed some light, or maybe someone in the chat can. I've always meant to check this out, and I found it for $5 in the used bin. It's like, okay, it's time to hear Soundgarden Louder Than Love. I've always liked Bad Motorfinger. That one came out when I was in high school. Obviously, had some, pretty big exposure. And I've always thought it was a great example of an album that's very, very heavy without being metal. Just everything about that album really crushes very nicely. And people have always talked about, earlier Soundgarden being really good. I just never had checked out any of the earlier stuff. So it was like, okay, maybe I'll finally go ahead and check this one out. And I don't know. I'm not getting much of a read on it. It doesn't have the same kind of heaviness that Bad Motorfinger does. Some of that's probably just in terms of, production budget. But yeah, I don't know. One thing that kind of strikes me on the first couple listens, it doesn't sound like Chris Cornell's quite there yet with his voice. That he's just doesn't sound quite as confident, or his voice just isn't quite as full as it is with his delivery. So I'm kind of left scratching my head a bit. It's like, okay, folks make a big deal out of early Soundgarden, but I'm not quite, buying in yet with this album. Is this the wrong early Soundgarden material? Should I be listening to something else? I know there's also like an EP or something. Do I just need to give this more time? Does it take a while to grow on you? Or is it maybe just a bit overrated, or you just have to be a real hardcore Soundgarden fan to want to go here? Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I saw them on that tour. They were opening for VOIVOD. They blew me away. They were just absolutely blew the lid off the place. And went and bought the album after I saw them. And I someone mentioned Led Zeppelin. I hear Sabbath mixed with Led Zeppelin on it. I like it. And someone also mentioned a doomier, punkier vibe. I get that as well. And I think I like it. There's like a punk edge to it. I like it. I think it's good. I like it better than Bad Motorfinger. I think Bad Motorfinger is a little bit more. They kind of lost the punky edge, and they're just a little. I don't know. They settled on a sound that I liked, but I didn't love it. There was a warmness to Louder Than Love. There's some really great songs on it. I think I like it.
I don't know. I haven't really got much of a punk, and that is part of it. I'm not getting a strong vibe for anything. I mean, yes, it has kind of that alternative rock sound, but yeah, I haven't found the punky side to it or the really heavy side. Because I've read other things where it's like, yeah, there's like this heavy Sabbath vibe. I haven't heard it on the first few listens, so I don't know.
I never heard that record.
Really? Wow.
No, I've heard the other one, the one that has like something in a cage.
Mm-hmm. Rusty Cage, record? Yeah, that would be bad. That's Bad Motorfinger.
Bad Motorfinger, yep.
Yeah, I've heard that one. I have that one on cassette somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, I still have that one. That one I really like. That one's crushingly heavy. You're right, Marty. It does not have a punk sound to it at all, but I think it's got a great heavy sound to it.
Is that on Sub Pop?
This one, I don't know.
I don't think it was.
This is probably just a later
on
thing.
Sub Pop.
The earlier stuff was on Sub Pop, I believe.
Yeah, this is just a later thing on A&M, so not going to help. Maybe someone in the chat knows. Maybe Eric knows.
They were really great live. That's all I can say. They like Chris was like stage diving and
I saw them live too. They opened for like VOIVOD.
VOIVOD. It was we saw them on the same tour.
I was at the show.
Yeah, you weren't in Detroit.
No, I was in San Francisco. But...
Yeah. It was a great show.
Okay. Yep. Maybe I'll give it another spin or two and see. But yeah, so far not impressed. But it is, a preliminary kind of response. And sometimes I'm bad to just set things aside if they don't have make a good impression quick enough. So maybe it's one I'll have to spend more time with.
Oh, dude.
We'll see.
The Accused are gods. I love the Accused. Man, they're the end boss of crossover as far as I'm concerned. I love Tommy's riffing, Blaine's vocals. Oh, great band.
Yeah. And what was that band they did? What was the band Tommy did after that?
Grunt Truck was
Truck.
Yeah. The
I like Grunt Truck.
The grungy thing. Yeah.
I like that. I like that first Grunt Truck anyways. I think I liked it. I don't remember anymore, but I remember liking it when it came out.
I remember seeing a video on MTV and not liking it, but that doesn't mean anything. The album could be great, just a bad single, or I wanted The Accused, so it could have been the best song ever. I'd be like, this is fucking stupid. It's not The Accused. Yeah. you know how that goes.
Rick says the early flies. Rick says the early Soundgarden EPs were on Sub Pop. Okay.
I think on that Louder Than Love, Alan, one thing about his voice, it seems like he's really showing off on it because there's a lot of drawn out lyrical passages. He's not like quick, it's not rapid fire type of stuff. He's really stretching it out and caterwauling, for lack of a better term. I mean, beautifully. He's a great singer, but he's really pushing the power on it. It seems like it's an album that's got a ton of power. I think maybe not so many riffs, but just power.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, and that's what I'm just not finding that power on it yet. And yeah, I like his voice. I mean, he sounds great on later stuff. Even like Super Unknown, someone mentioned. I'm not a big fan of Super Unknown, but he sounds great on that. He sounds great on Bad Motorfinger. He sounded great with whatever the band was he did afterwards. Not Velvet Revolver. What was his band after Soundgarden? Crud.
Who?
Chris Cornell.
Oh, Audio Slave.
Yeah. I mean, he always had a great voice, and on this one, I feel like it really does feel like, well, yep, that's what he sounded like really young before he kind of nailed his vocal performance or something. So I don't know. I'm just not there with it yet. Might not be the album for me, or maybe it just needs time.
All right. Well, I need to talk more about an album I reviewed, but I've been listening to this a lot. This is Sekilsa by Gendud. Norwegian. They're a 3-piece now. I talked at length about them for 15 minutes or so. Go check out the review, but This is Norwegian black metal. They show their influences on here, but it's very aggressive, harsh, really interesting guitar work. The vocals are grim the entire time. Very, very good record. It kind of fits in there with bands like Tolka, and there's a little Dodheim's Guard in here and the weirdness, especially early Dodheim's Guard, where the bass was real predominant, like on Kronet till Kunga. That Venrus plays bass on that album. The bass is very distinct on here as well. And the bass lines are typically not playing the same thing that the riffs are. So adds another layer to it. There's a little Vedbuin and Zenda on here too. There's weird avant-garde stuff, but mixed into just a firestorm of harsh Norwegian black metal riffs and vocals. Great record. This is going to be on my year-end list as well. I've been listening to the shit out of this. I've liked all their records, but the dude that's showing like he hung himself is wearing Crocs. I thought Crocs with a little strap on. Yeah, I thought that was pretty kind of funny. Anyway, he lost one Croc in the hanging, but great band, great album, big fan. All right, Dennis.
All right. Speaking of crossover records, I've been jamming this a lot. Broken Bones, Bone Crusher. I feel like this record doesn't get enough credit, man. A lot of people like talk about Dem Bones and their earlier stuff, but this record, when people talk about crossover, no one talks about Bone Crusher.
I've never even seen that. I've never seen the cover. That's the first time I've ever seen that record. Yeah, I've heard of the band. I've never seen I've never seen it in a store ever.
Really?
No.
That's crazy. But yeah, Seeing Through My Eyes, Decapitated, Death is Imminent, Bone Crusher. It's just ripping fucking metallic crossover. This album rules, dude. Very much like English Dogs. That kind of stuff. Discharge. Yeah. I mean, but this is way more, and it's on Combat Core. You gotta love the Combat Core label. Which is crazy, dude, because it's on Combat Core, so it should be pretty popular. I mean, I thought a lot of people would know this record, but for some reason it just went through the cracks. Death is Imminent's a great song. I mean, this up until like Traitor and Death EP, Broken Bones, even their like later stuff was pretty good too. Like this early stuff in the 90s was really good too. But this album's probably their best record, in my opinion, as far as crossover goes. I love Dem Bones as well. That's a great record. But this one, man, great record. If you guys like crossover and you like English, UK crossover shit, definitely like this. Yeah, Grave New World's a piece of shit. I hate that record.
I broke that record on video, on a live stream. And
Really?
it's actually harder to break a record than you would think. And when it lets go, the shards, they actually kind of hurt. I was kind of surprised. I thought it'd just snap real easy, but it bends way down and you're like, snap. And there's like a million shards all over the room. It's like, oh shit, I'm never doing that again.
The only time I really break records is by accident. Like I pull out something and it falls out the bottom. I'm like, what the fuck? Crack.
Yep.
God damn it.
That's another one of those albums. Every time I get a copy and get rid of it, another one shows up. It's like, fuck, man. I've owned Grave New World 3 times. The last one I broke. Hopefully I broke the cycle.
I've never owned it. Never will.
Oh, it's not good. All right, Alan. Oh, you're muted.
Thanks.
There you go.
Yeah, I've mentioned that there's a used copy that keeps coming back to the local record store.
Don't do it. It's bad.
I haven't. I'm
Get
not
it,
going
Alan.
to.
Get it.
But
Get it and send it to Dennis. Send it to Dennis.
It'll sit there for it'll sit there for several weeks. Then you go back and it's gone. Within a month, it's right back there again. It really is like some kind of cursed monkey's paw that everyone keeps getting, and then they have to find a way to ditch it onto somebody else. It's like some kind of elementary school game with Cootie Touch or something. So it's like oh no, Tommy's got the Grave New World CD now.
What were they thinking, honestly? Like, the songs are bad, the vocals are horrible. It's like, what were you guys thinking? This wasn't going to be like you guys, like you got to have a formula if you want to try to be popular, and this is not the formula.
They look like the Damned from the Phantasmagoria era. I don't know.
All right, Kevin's been checking out Randy. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Well, it wouldn't be a What's Spinning episode if we didn't have a quick installment of Alan tries to like yet another Rush album. This time it's Signals. I have bought more Rush albums than albums by bands I like. I keep trying. You can never say I have not given Rush a fair chance. I picked up Signals because on Moving Pictures, I like that last track quite a bit. I'm drawing a blank on the name of it right now. But, it stands out. It was, kind of obviously meant to be a signal of where they were heading. And then, hey, they make this album. And yes, they're going in that more electronic kind of direction. And so I was like, maybe I'm just going to be that odd duck that likes the 80s Rush stuff more than the 70s Rush stuff.
Yeah.
And to be clear, yes, there's songs here and there I like by Rush, for sure. I just always have trouble getting through entire Rush albums. I always feel like there's more that I don't care about than I do. So it's like, well, maybe I need to go in this direction rather than going back through their catalog. Maybe I need to start at Moving Pictures and move forward. So I picked up Signals. It got off to a pretty good start. I like the track Subdivisions. I thought that was really well put together. Cool song. Very catchy. The one after that, Analog Kid, took a couple of listens, but that one connected pretty well. I'm like, okay, we're doing fine here. But then with Chemistry, they started to lose me. The Chemistry song didn't really work out. Reading about it, Neil Peart had said, oh, that was like the easiest song we ever wrote. It took no time at all. I was just like, I'll believe that. I will absolutely believe that. No, so I couldn't get into Chemistry. Through the rest of the album, it's not bad. It's not that I dislike it, but none of the other tracks really grabbed me. And then you get to the closer, Countdown. This one left a bad taste in my mouth. Just because it's all these, sound effects. Basically, the song is about them. The band got invited by NASA to go down to Florida and watch the first launch of Columbia, the first space shuttle that went up, which I remember watching on TV in elementary school. They rolled TVs into all the classrooms so the kids could watch it launch. I just don't really feel like I need an almost 6-minute, retelling of the event by Rush. It's a story. Some of Rush's story-based songs really just don't work for me. And yes, it's me. It's not you, Rush. It's me. Fair. But yeah, this one where they're just talking about, they're, ship is going into space, go and fly the human race. It's like, this just isn't interesting. They don't ever seem to capture the emotion of the event for me. It's just like, this needed to sound like really epic and futuristic, and it just feels like it's a very matter-of-fact delivery. It's the same reason I don't like Red Barchetta. It's supposed to be this big, white-knuckle driving chase, life and death scenario, and we are driving down the road, going fast. There's no tension. There's no excitement. It's just Geddy Lee telling you about a car.
I love that song.
I know you do. Bless your heart. I'm sorry to yuck your
That's my Rush album, because I'm
there's a lot of good stuff on the album, and again, musically, some of these songs are interesting, but I just don't like the way he tells these kind of story-based songs. He just doesn't emote enough in them to make it, make me buy into the story. So yeah, ending on Rush watches a spaceship launch, just not the way I was hoping the album did. Like I said, it started promisingly. I found 2 songs on it that I really connected with, a bunch of songs that are there, and then we just kind of count down until the album's over. So, damn it, I tried again. I keep trying. Yeah, I will eventually be able to splice together all the songs I like and have one badass Rush playlist. but it's only going to fill like 78 minutes worth of a video. Like I can probably pack it all into one CDR and be really happy and get rid of these 9 Rush CDs I buy at used bookstores every few months. I'm trying. I really am trying. Anyway, I promise the next one will be a actual metal album since we're getting near the end of the clock. But Marty, it is your turn. I'll go see how many people are yelling at me about Rush in the chat.
Well, this has been on the need to listen to pile for a long time. Finally threw it on, and damn it, I enjoyed it. And there's a little bit of a connection with Dennis's Morgion shirt because Rhett Davis from Morgion plays drums in this band. Stygian Crown.
Mm-hmm.
This is surprisingly, it's on Cruz del Sur, actually a decent cover art. Usually Cruz del Sur's cover arts aren't the best, but the lady singer, she's got a lot of power, but she doesn't take it up high register. She just has a really soulful, gritty, of the earth type of clean tone. I don't know. I like this record. Heavy. I've listened to it once this week, and I will spin it again because I'm typically not in the mood for this, and especially now that fall's here. I'm listening to a lot more black metal these days, which is a long time coming. I've been in such a stupid power metal mood forever, but yeah, I was surprised. I think Kellen did a review of their late. Was that you or Kellen that did a review of the Stygian Crown? It was Kellen.
I'm not sure. Kellen's big on the band. It might have been him, but it might have been me because if it was me, it was the second album.
Okay.
Pulling
clips for that, I didn't mind it, but this was pretty heavy, good.
Yeah.
Lady-led doom. Good stuff. Enjoyed it. Not much to say about it, really. I've listened to it once, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They got a little sidetracked with the really silly what was it, candle thrower tag that people applied to them. It's like just because you're doomy and heavy, someone's like, oh, it's like Candlemass and Bolt Thrower. Candle thrower. That was not accurate, nor funny, nor helpful. But yeah, no, pretty cool band.
Pretty sure a candle will go out when you throw it. So
pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you throw a candle? I mean, maybe if you're inside and you're like really close to like some drapes and you're trying to cause a distraction by starting a small fire, you throw the candle and try to ignite the drapes, and then you run out the other way while they're putting out the fire. I feel like this is a plot of a Scooby-Doo cartoon or something, though.
You have drapes in your house, Alan?
Yeah, I realized I just used the word drapes twice, and like probably the first time anyone's used that word in 15 years.
I grew up in a house where the drapes were swagged with the, permanent swag. Yeah, all the dust would collect in the swag marks. And yeah.
Okay, well, you see, if you're in Marty's house and you throw a candle, you will burn some drapes.
Yeah, burn some drapes.
Yeah. That was 1982,
though. All right.
All right, man, dude, this demo, it's another demo I just been jamming. Like somehow I had a hankering to hear this demo. I don't know why. Impetigo Giallo. I always loved this demo when I first got it, and pretty cool demo as far as like the inserts and shit. Like you get like a full lyric sheet, which is cool for a demo. Like you never get that kind of stuff. But this demo kind of had a different feel to it when I bought this, because I didn't really know this band when I got the demo, and had the weird vocals and stuff on it from Mark and the horror themes and stuff. But this demo is a little bit different because it's not all horror movies where like they're after this, like everything is just horror movies. This one had like more original songs on it. And it has like kind of a funky bass line to a lot of songs, like do 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 boom boom. Like it has like these kind of funner. It's like I guess like it's more progression from All We Need Is Cheese to this demo. But man, this demo is fun. It's a really fun demo. It's not so they get more serious as they go. But I feel like what's the song like? The second song on this is hilarious. bitch death teenage mucus monster from hell. Like they just have like these kind of like grindhouse type of fun lyrics. Dear Uncle Creepy about creepy and eerie magazines like the old horror magazines. Revenge of the Scabby Man, My Lie. And then they have Jane Fonda Sucks, which has the HBO intro on it. Just great stuff, man. This was just like a great time, man. And even like the back is like, have a nice day, please. This is fun. This is like when death metal and grindcore and crossover and stuff like that, just you could just combine it all and it was just acceptable.
And it worked fine. It was great.
Yeah. Like everything you can like put into a demo and make it original. And I think that's what this is. It's very original. Like, I don't think you could replicate this. Like, it's a one of a kind type of thing. Like, it's not like brutal death. It's not like Swedish death or technical or anything like that. It's just a lot of genres put together to make like just a really fun and catchy demo, man. And I've listened to this like 4 or 5 times this week, and it's just killer, man. Just good stuff. And it's all like home done. Everybody like they drew their own cover and all that. So yeah, great band, but that demo is probably my favorite. That and obviously their 2 records are amazing as well, but just great demo.
Right on. Alan.
Okay. We've done Soundgarden and Rush. Let's get back to something that's heavier. Another band I struggle with, but this one is I'm warming up to. I think, and it's been a while. Yeah, last time we did a What's Spinning, I think I mentioned that I picked up a copy of Roar by VOIVOD and actually liked it. And so I followed up by getting a copy of War and Pain. So again, my strategy here with VOIVOD has been maybe I need to work backwards. Everyone says, start with the fancy, complicated ones, and I've always had some trouble connecting to those. So I'm like, maybe I need to go the other direction. It's kind of my Rush strategy, but in reverse. Instead of jumping forward into the 80s, I want to jump back to the early 80s for VOIVOD. And yeah, War and Pain is kind of cool. 84 release. I always think it's a little later than that for some reason, but it is an 84 release. Yeah, it's definitely the band, in their kind of primitive and raw early days. But I kind of like what I hear here. There's a fair amount of variety. It's not like they're completely doing any kind of one-trick pony thing. They've got, a lot, and the song titles are impossible to read on the back of this CD. Again, record labels, if you're going to make a CD, how the hell is anybody supposed to read this? I mean, I know my eyesight is not that great, but I mean, it's like the
aggressor. It was like all dark red. I'm like, what am I reading here?
Yeah. Even this isn't even a problem of like size. It's just, bad color scheme. But no, there is cool stuff on here. Some of these tracks, don't feel like they ever come together. Warriors on Ice is kind of just a mess. But Suck Your Bone, other than just being kind of hilarious, it's got a really strong new wave of British heavy metal template to it, which is not something I was expecting. The whole thing has, of course, this crazy Mad Max vibe to it, which I tend to like in heavy metal from this era. Carnivore did it as well. A bunch of other bands. Black. What does that say? Black City is a pretty cool one. I've enjoyed that. So this one.
What about Suck Your Bone?
I just talked about that one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I was reading again. I don't listen when I read, apparently.
Oh no, that's okay. But no, because I like that one because it's got it's a very new wave of British heavy metal sounding track. And that stood out. I was like, I wasn't expecting VOIVOD to do something that had that kind of sound to it. So it's a pretty cool album. So I'm actually enjoying these first 2 VOIVODs. I get the point. I know they move on and become fancier and more complex and all of that. But I'm happy sticking with this, for right now. It's got a big punky vibe to it. And see, and then like with the Soundgarden, I didn't get any of the punk vibe. With this, you get it right away. So it's like, yeah, this would have appeal to like a crossover audience. People, listening to punk, could maybe get into something like this. I like that it gives it that energy. Piggy's not doing anything too crazy on the guitar, but you also get the sense that he's doing something a little different. It would change later, but this is more straightforward, but still a bit unique sounding. So, yeah, early Voivod, I can like it. I can dig the early Voivod stuff. I'll spend some more time enjoying just, War and Pain and Roar for a bit. Then I'll work back and try, maybe slowly start advancing again. I like Killing Technology. It's just not the easiest sound for me to listen to. And after that, the water gets deep very fast. And I guess I don't have the water wings
I'm
this
feeling
time.
a connection of Voivod and Rush for you.
Yeah, they toured together at one point.
I mean, they're two very hard bands to like. You either like them or you don't.
Yeah.
And I don't dislike any Voivod records, honestly. Like, they're all amazing to me. So even the stuff with the different singer, I still like those.
Eric Forrest, those are good records. I think those are good records. What gets a little in the weeds for me was after Piggy's passing, they were piecing songs together of his riffs off the computer, like K-Tours. That album, and that album is a little. It's still good. It's still Voivod, but I haven't listened to that record since it came out. That Infinity.
I like Infinity. I like those records. I mean, War and Pain's probably my favorite record, honestly. Killing Technologies and Dementia's Hatros are up there.
Dimension Hatros is my favorite. I worship that record.
Those three records are just, they can't be touched, in my opinion.
And really, Chucky B kind of nails it here. Personally, I view War and Pain as Venom mixed with Discharge. And if you listen to some of the Voivod demos, they do a lot of Venom covers. So you can kind of see where Voivod on their first album is coming from.
They were always into like Exploited and Discharge and those bands as well. I mean, it just makes sense. But that was the times. But I think where it gets off-putting is Piggy's guitar. He uses these kind of weird chords, kind of these like two string weird chord progressions that are very angular, that are not like you either like them or you don't. You don't have to like them. I don't feel like when people are like, I hate Voivod, I'm like, okay, like that's fine. You don't need to like Voivod. Like you either like it or you don't. I don't know how to explain Voivod or Rush or those kind of bands. They have like a certain kind of sound that you can hear like what they're trying to portray, or you can just be like, not my thing, which is fine. I don't think people need to like that stuff.
No, they don't.
No, nobody's going to like everything.
No.
And I mean, you're exactly right, Dennis. That angular guitar sound is something I struggle with any time with bands that do that. It's a sound that always I have trouble with Voivod in that era too. When Snake gets more and more robotic with his vocal delivery, that's another thing.
His vocals too are very he has this very kind of nasally sound to his vocals.
And when he does that more halting,
which I can see people liking as well. It's kind of like, I don't like pinch harmonics. Like, stuff with pinch harmonics annoys the fuck out of me. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't want to hear like Immolation playing fucking 70 pinch harmonics on their second record. I'm like, dude, stop. Like, it's not my thing. It's fine. Like, that's just not my stuff. But I mean, everybody has their own like opinion on what they like and what they don't.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And in all seriousness too, I mean, another strike against me when it comes to a band like Voivod and Rush, I'm not a musician. The closest thing I came to being a musician was playing trombone and marching band in high school, and I was mediocre at best. I can't. A lot of fans of those kind of bands can sit and really ooh and ah and marvel at how Piggy's doing these crazy things with fingers and strings and chords. I'm just like, it sounds weird. I can't appreciate the technique that, you know, Neil Peart is playing in a 6/8 and then changes it up, you know, to a 9th, 12th. And, you know, in the meantime, you know, you've got, you know, this other, you know, this bass line is obviously like flamenco based, but, you know, being played in an inverted time chord signature changed harmonic vibrato. I'm like, it sounds weird. I don't have the musical background to appreciate it on that level.
Right. And then that's
so
not
it's
what,
just, it just, you know,
not what music is about. It's not about, oh, this is so technical, this is why it's good. That's that doesn't, like, I don't give a shit about Cynic. I cannot stand that band. Like, I will not listen to that record. It's horrible. But people love it, and they're like, oh, this guy's doing this and this. And I'm like, okay, like, can he write a song that I can actually listen to that doesn't sound like a million different notes in like 30 seconds? Because I don't want to hear that. I have no attention span for that. Like, I don't want to hear that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but
and
other people do, so that's fine.
Yeah, for folks that, you know, can appreciate it. I think that's just one reason that, like, you know, a lot of musicians can really get into those bands and really appreciate them, because there's extra layers there that they really they understand.
They're listening to like what they're playing, and they're like, oh, I appreciate like all these chord progressions and how many notes is going on. But I just want to hear like a song that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm like, chord progression, words, they mean things. You know, I just don't have the music. I can't appreciate them on that level. So if I don't like the songs, I don't have anything else to fall back on.
Yep.
But that's just me. But again, hey, I'm finding some VOIVOD records I like. I have to kind of start at the kids' table with the easy to digest ones, it seems.
I mean, but that's cool because that's a killer record.
Oh, it's a killer record.
That was the first one. I first heard the Gallows song on the Metal Master.
Condemned to the Gallows.
Yeah.
I can't remember what was the first I heard. Seems like I walked into Camelot Music, and some guy behind the counter is like, oh, hey, you're into metal. We got these samplers to give out. There was a Combat sampler, and it had hold on. It's driving me crazy now. Forgotten in Space. It had Forgotten in Space on it.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
So I think that was the first VOIVOD I heard. I think.
Yeah.
I'm like, this song rules. What the hell is this shit? Then I think Roar might have been the first one I bought, because that's what they had in stock at the time. And that's just a obliterating thrash attack, just so barbaric and driving.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The first one I heard was probably Condemned to the Gallows, because that's Metal Massacre 5.
I might have heard on Best of Metal Blade then too, whatever was on there.
Yeah, I mean, the song's okay. It's included on this version of Warm Pants and Bonus track.
I love that's probably one of my favorite VOIVOD tracks, mainly because it's the first one I heard.
Makes
and the drummer played on a kid's drum kit on that record.
Oh,
they
cool!
couldn't afford a real drum kit, so they bought a Mickey Mouse drum kit to play on that.
Wow.
But yeah, no, after that it would have been, I think the first thing I heard beyond that track was the Cockroaches EP, which ended up having I found like in a used bin on a picture disc.
Yeah, I have that picture disc too.
So going
was
from
on there, Too Scared to Scream and Cockroaches. Are those the two songs on there?
I don't know. I got rid of it.
I know Cockroaches is.
Cockroaches is on it, and I think it's too. Oh, let me look it up. Because now it's bugging me.
But yeah, it was just I mean, going from the
Cockroaches is bugging you.
Yeah, Too Scared to Scream, Too Scared to Scream, and Cockroaches. Yep.
But yeah, so that probably wasn't a great introduction to go into after Condemned to the Gallows. So probably just went in their catalog at the wrong point, and I've never quite compensated. But again, for folks that came in later, you can hear Marty and Jeff talk about VOIVOD in depth in about 2 or 3 weeks. Jeff will be coming on to talk about his upcoming book, VOIVOD, Always Moving, the complete biography, which you can pre-order with a link down there in the show notes below. Should be an excellent read. I've already ordered the book, and obviously I had my issues trying to figure out VOIVOD, but I will gladly read the book, and maybe they'll shed some light on it. give me a different angle to look at them from.
Yeah, Jeff made me a Type O fan. I read his book and devoured that book. It was so well written and so well done. And
Yep.
I had October Rust and then read the book and started listening to other stuff. I'm like, it's kind of rules. End up buying, I've got them all now. So yeah.
And I am not a Type O fan, but I still bought the book and still really enjoyed the book, even though I can take, there's some of their music I like, but a lot of it I can do without. I just never got into a lot of Peter Steele stuff. There are some exceptions. The first album,
I like Carnivore. I'm not a big Type O guy though.
I love Carnivore.
The Carnivore stuff.
Retaliation. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one's the first one?
Type O's a little, it's a little cringy, man.
My problem with Type O, and I know we're getting way off track. I got introduced to them in a really bad way. Just somehow as Type O Negative was kind of slowly ascending, somehow I was completely oblivious to it. Just had no inkling whatsoever. So the first time I saw or ever heard of Type O Negative was just like, is middle of the summer, had just like gotten off a shift, like, flipping burgers. So I'm just like, sitting, there trying to unwind and flipping channels and like on MTV. And there's this guy talking like this, black, number one. I'm just like, what the fuck is this Trick or Treat novelty song doing on MTV in the middle of the day?
Goth chick music.
Well, I had no frame of reference. It wasn't even that it struck me as like
on Jerry Springer.
It really struck. I mean, again, I didn't connect it to Carnivore in any way. It really did just strike me as just like novelty song. Somebody made a video for a novelty song. That's weird. And then it kept coming on, and it's just like, oh, this is a real song that people like and are listening to. So my introduction to Type O was very awkward that way. And again, they've got some good songs. I've come to like Slow, Deep, and Hard. But yeah, in general, and I've tried recently with Type O. I revisited most of their albums earlier this year. It's like, maybe there's more here. And usually by about halfway through, I'm just ready to take a nap.
Yeah,
it's just
I'll
not quite for me. Go ahead, Dennis. Sorry.
Oh, I'll try again. I have October Rust. I don't
Every
know,
metalhead has October Rust. That was like the album, like it's every metalhead's Barry White album. Hey, baby. They're gonna make love.
I mean, I have Bloody Kisses, obviously, but I was just like, I bought October Rust, and I was like, yeah, it's not really doing it for me. But
yeah. One thing I realized with Type O, revisiting them this time, one thing that doesn't connect with me, they have a lot of Beatles worship in their music.
Beatles and Sabbath. Those are his two big influences. Yeah.
And I like Sabbath, and I do not like the Beatles. So when they're doing all their like vocal harmonies, and it's just pure Lennon and McCartney, I'm just like, oh, there it is again. Frickin' Beatles, go away.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, and see, for me, Marty, too, October Rust was not my Barry White album from like the mid and late 90s. It was a combination of Celestial Season Solar Lovers and Pyrogenesis Sweet X-Rated Nothings.
Dude! Both those records rule.
Those two albums rule. And let's just say I had a lot of very enjoyable evenings with those two albums on in the background.
Actually,
those two and Pink Floyd, The Division Bell, because there's not a single lady in the state of Ohio in the 90s who did not want to make out listening to The Division Bell. That was the makeout album of the decade for that particular state. So October Rust, we don't need that. Here, let's check out some David Gilmour.
All right.
We got time for one last round here, but
let me finish up the round here. And
finish up the round, and
this thing I showed it Wednesday night. Gehenna's Seen Through the Veils of Darkness, Second Spell.
I got a soft spot for that. Yeah,
I haven't listened to it in ages. Threw it on this past weekend, and I've listened to it every day since. I listened to it today. It's surprisingly sad. It surprised me how much I enjoy it and forgotten about it. I have a number of their CDs sitting on the shelf that haven't been touched. There's a cacophonous pressing. I guess that's important to talk about. But
Nice.
it's just plotting, really well done Norwegian black metal, really well written songs with some synth, but it isn't overblown symphonic. It's just kind of strengthening the riffs, giving kind of an atmosphere to it. A lot of 6/8 waltz type riffs, awesome vocals. Great band, man. This is a great record. It's been fun rediscovering it.
Yep. Yeah, I like their first spell and second spell releases. I feel like they were one of those bands that after a couple more albums, though, they started to lose their unique qualities.
They
didn't
started to get more death metal.
A little bit, yeah. They didn't go as far as like Eternus, but it definitely felt like they kind of became more generic sounding within another album or two.
Yeah, Miriam Black was more aggressive and technical, and it kind of lost the atmospheric spirit of the Norwegian black metal sound, you know.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, Dennis. This is our last round.
Last round.
Okay. I have more despairing stuff, but I'm not going to put it up because I'm going to put up this fun cassette as my last, and it's a banger. It's the Ultimate Revenge Combat Tour live cassette.
I've never even seen that cassette tape. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it only came out on video.
It did. This is just it is kind of a boot. It wasn't really released, but it was like released in limited quantities to get this. It's basically the VHS recorded on the cassette.
Nice.
Which it's the whole VHS. It's got the whole concert here. One of the best concerts. Slayer and Exodus destroy this, man. And it's nice. It's a nice inlay and everything. Man. This is one of the best fucking live shows ever. Me and my friend used to watch this. Like, we'd get off school and we'd go home and watch this on VHS. That's how much I love this fucking concert. Like, you got all the Bonded by Blood and early. You got Show No Mercy and some Helloween stuff, and then Venom. Venom's not actually live. Like, it's taken from some other show at the Hammersmith or something like that. But sense. The Studio 54 stuff is Exodus and Slayer. But man, fuck, dude. The versions of Black Magic and Antichrist on here and Chemical Warfare, unparalleled, man. Yeah. And Piranha, that's where you get the tuna fish comment. Bailoff is at his best on this, like, and the sound on here and the vibes and the guys in the beginning, like, and the mosh pit and those guys in when they're talking about the combat, like, we got the combat press here, we got sabotage. When they talk about like the records at the end, so badass. The dungeons are calling.
Is that on the tape too?
Huh?
Is that on the tape too?
Yeah, it's on the tape.
Nice.
All the interviews too.
Nice.
Where where you get the Venom interview too, where he's like, drink this, you'll fall over. Where he's got the Jack Daniels bottle with Kronos. Yeah. And you got Dave Lombardo with like, where are you gonna go from here? We gotta pound stuff in your head like this, like DRI. And they did, because after that they got way more like punk with
Punky,
Rain and Blood, like way more streamlined from where they were on Helloween. So it's just kind of a time capsule to listen to that all the time, because you can just hear where their influences came from and where they went. And even Venom too, talking about where, like, everybody's like, oh, Venom wasn't black metal, but he's talking about Crowley. He's talking about Anton LaVey and stuff like that. Like, they were really into that stuff at the time, where people don't know that. Like, they weren't just a joke band. They were really like into like this kind of satanic, at least they knew what they were talking about. It wasn't like bullshit to them. So they were like actually like reading into those kinds of things and like singing about it. So when people are like, oh, Venom wasn't black metal, they were new wave of British heavy metal and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh man, I'm pretty sure they were black metal. They were practicing, you know, a lot of things at the time. So
Well, they totally
Even-
played into the whole Satanic Panic era perfectly. I mean,
Yeah.
they're like the Dunwich Horror put to music or whatever, you know, those old
Yeah.
80s demon worship type movies from back in the day that you watch once.
Exactly. It's the Hammer horror. Hammer horror and Venom go together perfectly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Witchfinder General, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, great concert. I mean, all those bands were at their peak, so it's just amazing. And Gary Holt wore spandex the whole time, so
I have never wore spandex. I have never seen a need for it. Never seen a need for spandex.
no.
I did have a pair of parachute pants. Those were fucking sweet.
Well, yeah. Well, when I was in a breakdancing like crew, I guess. So, not that I was the best breakdancer. I was a backup, but
You
like
warmed
at the
the bench in
studio.
your breakdancing crew.
no,
Even breakdancing crews have a bench
scary
warm.
because we're in high school and they're like, Dennis is my backup right now, and I'm like, oh shit. Man.
You start doing some popping, you know.
I'm like, God damn it, dude.
Love it. Electric Boogaloo. All right, Alan.
It's like, oh no, Tommy broke something while breakdancing. His brake broke. Quick, call Dennis.
Dennis.
Oh shit, I got the move.
Dennis time.
I mean, I could pop pretty good, so I could not do the spin though. I couldn't do that gymnastic stuff.
So, some of that shit was crazy.
Indeed.
Spin on your fucking head.
Also, I was like the only metaler that was listening to like Run DMC at the time and Beastie Boys and that kind of stuff. And they were like, "Oh, dude, we're gonna make a mix between this and Black Sabbath." So they would do like mixtapes, and they would be like, "What should we put here?" Like Run DMC mixed with AC/DC, and then put in some Sabbath. Like even then, back in the '80s, we were like putting like metal into like that kind of stuff into the beats and stuff like that.
Locking and popping to Impetigo.
Yeah. That bass.
All right. What you got, Alan?
I've got a picture of Tom G. Warrior in my head. He's going, only popping is real.
Yep.
All right, for my last one. Marty, you showed this not long ago on something. As I was like, oh, yeah. I had actually just picked up a CD copy of it. We'll wrap up with Nuclear Assaults, Handle with Care.
Great fucking album.
Yeah, it really is. I know you had mentioned that it was probably your favorite by them.
I think so. It changes, but I think it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Maybe if not the favorite.
I like it more than Game Over. I'm still not sold on whether I like this more than Survive. I need to go back and it's been a long time since I listened to Survive. So I'm not ready to make that declaration. But yeah, this is a very solid album. It's one I didn't have back in the day. I saw it all over the place because, it was really distinctive, classic kind of logo, easy to spot. The cassette just never came home with me, from any of those random Camelot and record bar kind of trips. I didn't avoid it for any reason.
The cover's like super generic.
Yeah.
Kind of is. It never bothered me. Yeah, I ended up getting Survive mainly, and the thing, it wasn't just, Survive, yes, had a cooler cover, but Survive was cheaper for whatever reason. The day that I finally did decide I was buying Nuclear Assault, the Survive tape was like $6.49, whereas this one was going to cost $9.99. It's just like, well, hell, I can buy a Survive and actually have enough money to buy lunch one day this week. So yeah, I went that way instead, and never got back around to picking up Handle with Care until much later. But yeah, it's a very solid album, good example of that kind of just late 90s or late 80s, early 90s thrash, where bands were getting a lot more sort of socially conscious and stuff. You're getting more songs about global warming and ozone holes and all that kind of stuff. But this one it still has really good thrash chops to go along with that. And they still have a couple of their short jokey songs on here. I think there's 2 on here, if I remember right. Mother's Day is one. I think there's one other. So yeah, there's still a little bit of the humor that they had more of early on.
That Mother's Day is kind of like a precursor of what's coming with Brutal Truth. It definitely has blast beat on it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dan Loeffler was already getting into grindcore on this record.
Yeah.
That would make sense. That would make sense. But yeah, so, you know, this one, I kind of put it there alongside things like, you know, Anthrax's Persistence of Time, where it's just like, yeah, you know, these bands have gotten, you know, a little more grown up. They're not being quite as goofy as they used to, but they're still at a phase where they were putting out really good thrash albums. So it's that kind of narrow window between they're not going to be just, you know, total goof offs anymore, but they haven't jumped the shark and kind of lost the plot in, you know, the crash and burn phase of thrash in the mid 90s either. So yeah, it was cool going back and revisiting Handle with Care. Again, I still got to go back and replay Survive to see if I like it more. I know Brainwashed is my favorite song by the band, so that's already 1 point in Survive's favor. Yeah. But I don't remember much else off Survive off the top of my head. So,
but Game Over and Survive are awesome, and so is
love it.
Yeah, Game Over took me a.
The Plague, dude. The Plague is one of the best songs.
Yeah,
Plague is good. Yep. Yeah, Game Over, the album, took me a while to warm up to. I got there with it, but it was kind of a slow grower.
Angular riffs.
And a really shitty blown out guitar sound.
The production was often
it's got that weird production on it. It's like super teeny. It's got that teeny production.
Yeah,
like those weird teeny productions were weird in the 80s. You had but it made the album like more stand out. Like you had
different. They didn't sound like everybody else, you know.
You had Eternal Devastation. You had Beyond the Gates. They had those weird that weird production, man. All those 3 records had that guitar sound that sounded like it didn't even have distortion on guitar.
Yep. All right,
Andrew, that could be a fun topic for some time.
It would be fun. There's someone else was also recommending it. It might have been Andrea twice, but yeah. I don't know. I've seen it recently here in a comment or in a chat or something. I don't know.
3 hours of danger discography.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of glam in my collection. I have some, but not much. So it would be a pretty short conversation.
What's considered glam, like Motley Crue?
Oh, and that's the thing. I mean, if you loosen the parameters a little bit to include Rat and Dokken and you know, other quote unquote hair stuff, there you could come up with a good solid
Cinderella, Tesla.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Poison. If it's Poison for 3 hours, I am out. We are not doing that shit.
I don't even know any Poison. I just know Thorn song.
Oh God.
I don't even know what it's called.
Yep. Okay.
All right, Marty. Bring the curtain down on this one tonight.
Well, I think I showed this on Wednesday, but I've been listening to this kind of daily as well. I finally got an actual copy of the new Havakruunu, Tavasland. This thing is, I really like it. This thing is produced perfectly. They mix, Finnish black metal with like Bathory-esque marching to battle type of Viking metal. Then they got these big choirs, and then they got these rock inspired solos. But the vocalist always remains a really sick, nasty black metal tone. This album is really, really, really good. And it's the first time I've heard this band, and I'm going to be slowly picking up their other stuff too when it gets reissued. But Finnish black metal, I guess you could call it that. I think black metal is a little bit limiting, but
I think they get kind of put more towards like the pagan side of things.
Yeah, very, very good album. Very, very good album. Probably be on the year-end list. Little foreshadowing of what's to come, I guess.
It'll be on mine for sure.
But there you go. We did it. 3 hours or so. And Dennis, always a pleasure. Anytime you want to come on, reach out or I'll holler at you or however you want it to work. But it's always good to have you on. Maybe we'll get you on for the glam episode.
I'll do it.
Let's
you can
do
it. I'm down.
Beat Street, get you off the street.
45-minute discussion of cherry orchards.
Great song.
Yeah.
I can dig that song.
That-
I can dig it. It's easy to make fun of, but at the end of the day, it's not a bad song.
It's not a bad song. It's just not Celtic for us.
No.
If it had a different name on it, that would have helped quite a bit.
And let's be honest, a better singer would have maybe helped that album too. If they're going to lean into the glam thing,
Probably
you need a
maybe
shredder,
someone
you need a good singer.
a little bit more handsome, a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like a gnome.
Tom G. Warrior has many talents, but when it comes to glam metal, he was born to play the drums. Just sit back there in the back and be quiet.
Yeah. Well, that's it, everybody.
It's been fun. Thanks.
Yeah, been a lot of fun. If you're not familiar with Analog Archives, go click on the link in the description and go subscribe to Dennis. Awesome channel. Great dude. So knowledgeable. Awesome collection. So anything coming up, Dennis? I know you've been kind of busy doing other things. You got any videos or just whenever you get around to it?
Yeah, I'll probably do another video soon. So check it out. Other than that, like just doing, trying to do my vinyl bar.
Killer idea.
Hopefully have people come over, check out some vinyl, have some drinks, and listen to some records. If you're in the Reno area, hit me up.
Right on. Alan, what you have coming out on Tuesday? Let's talk metal.
I'll be going through the VCOT box that David, Heavy Metal Overkill, sent me. Sent some really cool stuff. Some things that I did not have and hadn't heard in a long time. One I had never heard. So, I just dedicated the whole video to that, which is why I didn't show those albums tonight. So, big thank you to David for those. And again, one last reminder to folks that the pre-order link for VOIVOD, Always Moving, the complete biography by Jeff Wagner is down there in the show notes. Go get yourself a copy ordered of it. It's going to be a fascinating read, whether you're into the band or not. Jeff's an excellent writer, and it's going to be a really good, thorough look at the history of a very important band. I mean, while I may not get into them, I would never slight them, disrespect them. They don't. They're a huge force in heavy metal. They deserve this kind of treatment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jeff's the perfect person to write the book on them. And I'm looking forward to reading it.
Right on. As far as Metallurgy goes, there will be a review up from Logan on Monday. I don't remember the bands. Mortuary Drape for Album Club on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And next Friday, we'll be back with another guest and another episode of Heavy Metallurgy. Oh,
actually, we won't, because
I won't be.
Marty, we probably will not have an episode next Friday night. I think Marty and I both have other engagements. So
right on.
Be a very rare occasion where, you're on your own next Friday night, kids. Don't invite anybody over.
Yeah.
But actually, I'll be hosting on my channel. It'll be a full disco episode. So.
Yes.
Dennis will be popping live next Friday night. You can go
mostly Rolls Royce, so let's do it.
Go check it out. But yes, Marty and I will be back in 2 weeks. Tentatively, we've got Darcy scheduled in a couple of weeks. So Darcy's making his triumphant return. Then in 3 weeks, Jeff to talk about VOIVOD. And we've got a couple of other really good guests with good topics coming up soon after that. So, good lineups coming up. We're just next week is going to be a rare week off for Metallurgy.
I was going to say, I don't think it's ever happened.
Yeah,
it's been probably a couple of years since we've missed a Friday night. But Marty and I both have other obligations. So maybe we'll put up an old rerun episode and see if anybody notices.
The Jump a Shark episode.
Download something from 3 years ago and we're hey, check out this new album that just came out from some band that's now already broken up.
Well, there you have it.
We might do a Catacombs of Depravity episode coming up for Halloween.
Awesome.
Just horror movie stuff. Probably be on Jeff's channel, but
Nice.
I haven't heard from him. So if you guys are interested in talking about horror movies and Halloween stuff, hit me up. We got a few people already lined up, and we'll do it live. So
Cool.
let me know.
Right on.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Take care and have a great weekend.
Cheers. See you
Cheers.
later.